Welcome back, friends, to the studio, the command center here live from lovely Montreal, Canada, or Quebec, as they say. I'm Dominic, your host. With me are Anne and Fresh, our resident EUL experts. Wow, how fitting that they're here on the EU team's matchup, the one that has been performing the best out of the tournament so far. Of course, NA slander will ensue. And let's start first with a hello. How are you doing today? And you look lovely as always.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, the makeup ladies have been doing an amazing job. They're super nice to work with and they make us look really good. And yeah, it's obviously helping and making you feel really good, right?
They make even Jack look great.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of makeup, I've had an absolute disaster class, Milosh, because I slept with my makeup on last night.
Oh no.
Completely forgot. We did the 4th game yesterday. Secret went to 43 rounds, so we didn't get much sleep time. But
yeah, I saw in the group chat you were very annoyed.
No. Never annoyed.
Fair enough.
Always positive.
I really wanted to see the caking on the bed when you woke up in the morning. Like, oof, that's a rough night.
It was, but we're here.
We're here. We're ready to go, and we all look fantastic for this matchup. How would we start off with our two teams? Soniqs versus MNM Gaming, both of which are topping their group here in Group B. 12 points for MNM, 8 for Soniqs. They are guaranteed to be out in group stage, well, 2. So they are fighting now. Their focus is for the playoffs. This game doesn't matter incredibly, but it does matter when it comes to getting a free day off. It's not free, you have to earn it to get that day off and prepare yourselves even more to go deeper into our tournament. We'll talk about Soniqs first, our North American team who've had, let's say after the past couple of days, a major upgrade. They've been playing fantastically.
Yeah.
Incredible team, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they are looking super scary right now. We've had the opportunity to listen into a few of the comms that the team was making, and I think these are some of the best comms I might have heard so far. They're really clear in their communication, getting things to, like, people to work together on certain plans. Also, a player that I really want to highlight in this particular is Gunnar, right? A player that used to play a lot of entry operators. We've seen him play a little bit more supportive operators. We've seen him on the Nomad, for example, but he's a bit of a younger player, right? And we've seen that younger players sometimes have some struggles with being disciplined, with not wanting to go for clips, but Gunnar is super disciplined in this regard. He can sit outside and wait for his team to perform the execute and be patient enough to not interrupt that plan. It's really good, and I'm very happy to see that.
Is he like the NA Benja?
Yeah, but he's playing a lot more for the team. Like, not saying Benja doesn't play for G2, but he is playing into that system, and he's made the system better.
But Soniqs must have just been getting better and better over time.
Yeah, they have, Milosh. I think we've got a graphic that supports this as well, that shows their...
He did that in just 2 seconds!
There we go. I made these graphics so fast. Now, if you just have a quick look at this timeline, Soniqs, when they came into Six Invitational 2022, 1 year ago, were a top 6 team. They were a good team, but they look inherently different. They struggled in NAL Stage 1, second NAL Stage 2, grouped in the Berlin Major, and that was obviously Super and Yeti's last event. They then brought in Gunnar and Gio, and that's where this new system really started. Instant improvement. Second, top 4 in Jönköping, got to the semi-finals, losing to the winners. And now they've gone minus Kansan plus Citizen on the transfer, and they're currently undefeated in SI23, and they look like a real hot property in this tournament to go deep into the tournament. So this progression from Soniqs as a team that not just attends events and does okay, they're looking to be going on and winning the event, and that's their expectation now with this almost super roster that they've created.
Yeah, what surprises me most probably is with that recent transfer being so recent, the team really trusts each other, and it really feels like they have an actual team that really gels well together. You can see it in their moments where they're going for a plant and the team is holding the plant. They really do trust each other to hold it accurately and continue the plan whilst it's going on.
That is pretty incredible to see that a team that has really only been together for a few weeks at this point is just functioning so well. But hey, maybe it's the honeymoon phase. Who knows? Maybe if we go to the second stage of group stages, it'll be something different. But we could also tell the same story about MNM, because both of these teams are undefeated yet in their group. And somebody's going to take an L today, and it definitely won't be us. Viewers always taking the W's here at SI. So MNM, we have their marshmallow here even on our desk. What's going on?
Well, we couldn't do the gag that obviously Ollie and Demo did with the shirts yesterday for M&M, but we do have to give a token.
You would still take off your shirt.
There we go, to the beautiful plushie provided by M&M
So
just for this game.
well.
It really is.
It's insane.
We're kind of doing a lot of promotion for them. But this plushie, it's so soft.
Yeah.
Is it marshmallowy?
It is.
Can you bite into it?
It's fluffy.
I wouldn't recommend doing it.
God What?
It's something you borrow. I don't really recommend biting into that. It's
Oh, that's
really
the only
a nice
reason.
thing to do.
Okay, good. I thought it was like a real life marshmallow. Okay, well, you know what? It seems like they've been playing well. And the moment that I went downstairs this morning and I was having a chat with Nello, I found him in the elevator. They're together saying, you know what, Nello, what's going on with the team? How are they playing? So I was like, honestly, just the fact that, yes, we're starting at 10 a.m. and like 1 p.m. for our games, but it's evening in EU. So everybody here is just relaxed. They wake up, and I thought, of course, we're making the joke, haha, MNM 10 a.m., but it really is a major thing for these players who are on gamer hours. Let's just put it that way. Waking up at 2 p.m., having your scrims at 4, it's something different. Here, they seem to be cozy. So maybe more NA tournaments for MNM.
Maybe. And I think MNM, they've made 2 changes. One, they've got a little bit more resilient. I think it's just the experience of this roster. The core has now been together a very, very, very long time. They're getting resilient in these best of 3s. That game against Liquid yesterday, they really could have lost it, but they managed to find themselves, get themselves over the line. Those were the games that they've been losing at Majors this year and at SI, this time last year. And then the second thing is Nath. Adding Nath into this roster has been incredible because his shot calling, his vocalness is something that they desperately needed.
I think it adds some fragging power as well. And we'll see Eden, their coach, on the screen right now. And he mentioned right before this tournament in an interview that MNM is a team that really works well off of momentum. They need that momentum, right? In Jönköping, they might have not had it, but right now, they're thriving. They're going 6-0 in maps, and if they keep up that momentum, it might be great for them.
Well, let's see what maps they're going to have for this series. Now, last time we saw MNM playing, they went up against Liquid. They had a really good game against them, 7-4, 8-6. They went to OT on Clubhouse. Spoke very quickly with MNM saying, this is going to be a tight one, and they're going to go to Clubhouse. Of course, Soniqs were able to pick it up because it was not an auto ban. They start off on the attack. MNM going for Skyscraper. They start off on the attack. I always love seeing Skyscraper in our big game bans. And finally, Villa as our decider, MNM's last ban. And your thoughts?
Well, if we look at Clubhouse for Soniqs pick, they have 5 out of their 6 games on recent history that they won on this map, and they also have their best defensive win rate. You might have something to share about that in a little bit as well. It's a high preference map for them, but then for MNM, they have quite some losses on this map. They, however, did beat Liquid, so I think it is a quite spicy pick.
Yeah, I agree so too. I think both teams, in terms of the picks, have gone to maps that they like a lot. Very high preference maps for both teams. Going into MNM on Skyscraper, I love watching MNM on Skyscraper. I think they define a lot of the meta, particularly on defense. So I'm going to be looking out whether Soniqs ban the Azami, because MNM with Azami on that map are so good in terms of layering their defense. Solis, that's the curious one now, because Solis is in. If Solis wasn't in, then you would be saying Azami ban 100%, but, we shall see. And I think Villa as a decider, it's a nice middle ground to go to. Both teams have a good preference on the map. Both teams like it a lot.
Yeah, and we do this little map ban prediction thing. For my text that I have here right now, I have the word defense written quite a few times. Yep. I think specifically on Clubhouse as well, right? Looking at MNM's game against Liquid, they were only able to win 2 out of 7 attacking rounds. So they'll need to show up today on the defense for sure.
Okay, one final thing. Winner team name, score. Leave it at that.
Oh.
No.
Lobby's ready. You got to make it quick.
2-1 to, I'm going to do this, 2-1 to Soniqs.
I want to say 2-1 to MNM, just because I want to say something different as well. But also, if MNM win today, they will confirm themselves in the first spot. So that's
true.
That's why I'm going to say, because EU Copium.
EU Copium. I mean, Jack usually says, you know what, the reason why I don't go for MNM is because that means that I don't jinx them. So we'll take it at face value. Thank you very much, though, Fresh and Ann, winners no matter what. We'll toss it then to our casters, MNM versus Soniqs.
Well, everybody, it's time for what might be one of the most important matches of the entire event up to this point. The unstoppable force meets the immovable object. Some of the matches that we've seen so far have been the stoppable force versus the immovable object, and this is definitely not one of them. MNM, it was talked about on the desk, made a roster move, and suddenly they look like world beaters. Soniqs did the same, dropping Kansan, who had a miraculous moment at SI last year, if you recall, on Bank, picking up Citizen, bringing him over from across the pond, and both of these teams look set to make deep runs here at the Six Invitational.
And if you were to tell me that, 2 weeks back, that we're going to have 2 teams that are undefeated play against each other in this group, I don't think I would have put Soniqs and MNM in this particular position. Soniqs, I personally have very favorite in this tournament, but MNM, bit of a surprise. Nave joining this roster, these young players, plus Nello, have really shown up at this tournament, both on their defensive side, their attacking side, and overall have been stomping the competition thus far. But this has to be their biggest challenge for all of group stage. And as Anne said, if they win, they lock in first seed, which would be a massive victory for the team.
Absolutely. MNM has not had a single off day so far, which I guess has helped to keep up the momentum, Nick. They have tomorrow off, and how sweet the nectar would be to drink on your final day of matches and not having to play a single game and not having to care what happens in your group at that point. Because you don't need to sweat. Some of these teams that have the next day off, they're going to have to watch those matches.
Yeah.
And they're going to be sweating. Hold on a second here. At the bottom it says, I'm Niklas Muritzen, but you might know me as Penguin.
No.
I'm a two-time Rainbow Six Siege World Champion and former top Rainbow
You would have to read the
Six
entire
Siege
thing.
player.
What? What is that?
And I thought what I was doing was bad.
What is that? Where does the sound come from?
So that was Gunner.
I don't understand.
Just in case anybody was curious, on the far left of the screen. And here is something that is an oddity for Montreal in the middle of the winter, Nick.
Yeah, it's really warm in here, apparently.
Citizen complaining about how warm it is. Goddess fanning herself.
They're recording, so you cannot call him the derogatory term midget, because apparently you'll get canceled on Twitter, so...
That's unfortunate.
It's extremely unfortunate.
Of course, referencing when Gunner referred to somebody as that term, but it kind of sounded like something significantly worse, which created a bit of a Twitter firestorm.
Oh my god.
I love that noise.
I'm not sure if I do, honestly. I'm still trying to figure out if I...
Oh, I mean, I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Okay, good.
Do you know that I'm Nicholas Muritzen, but you know me
No,
as
we've been over
I'm a
this
two-time
already.
Rainbow Six Siege World Champion and former top Rainbow Six Siege player in Pro League.
What is it to call next?
Yeah, that was so last year, man.
Yeah, it was. And this is New Year, and I feel like it should be over already.
It was actually 2 years ago.
No.
It was Yavla.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, God.
A year and a bit ago.
That time flies.
Huge matchup. 12 points for MNM. They've played every single match so far. They haven't had an off day. Soniqs, they had one off day, but they're also undefeated, so they have 8 points. One of these teams has to lose today. If Soniqs win with all 4 points, they tie MNM. And Soniqs still has another game to go.
Yeah. One thing that, looking at the map bans, that I found very interesting, as I'm going to put it, is that Soniqs, they willingly pick Clubhouse against MNM. And MNM, they played it twice. Once against Wolves, it was a 7-2 victory in favor of MNM, obviously. And then also against Team Liquid, where they won 8-6. So a lot tougher in terms of scoreline, but still came out victorious in that one as well. So Soniqs, clearly, they have 2 maps they can study, you know, what MNM is going to be doing, go for some counter plays, etc. And they've deemed themselves that they can pick that apart, no problem. Happy to go there. However, next map is going to be Skyscraper. Again, MNM, they love that map as well. So Soniqs, they are going to have to prove to everybody watching that they are indeed a force to be reckoned with.
Both these teams are, of course, qualified for the next stage. They cannot finish last in their group. So we will not be seeing them go home. They will continue onward. But of course, finishing first in your group would be quite nice.
It's actually very, very nice.
Very nice.
Get a day off, you start in that upper bracket, you know, second column, and you get to watch our teams duke it out. And you can hide some maps, rest, etc. Typically at major events, you don't really have days off no matter where you place, but Seed 1 at this particular tournament at Invite 23 is probably the biggest advantage you can have, besides like a map advantage in the grand finals, as we've seen in previous events.
Yeah. It's been a breakout tournament, I would say, for both Solitov and Yuzis. Not that they've ever been bad players, but they've definitely stepped it up, and I think that people have taken notice.
Ooh.
That's a nail-biter of a poll result. 54% of you think the Soniqs will win. MNM Gaming has 46% of you saying they'll win. Right down the middle.
Dare I say it's the closest vote we've seen so far this entire tournament. It's close that we have seen, at least, amongst our casts. But yeah, almost as close as it can get. Operator bans. MNM will start by banning off an attacker. They actually opt for the A. So we're back to this quote-unquote classic clubhouse scenario of banning a heart breacher in that first rotation. Typically, it's going to be Hibana. Sometimes it's the Thermite. But this time, it's going to be the Ace instead.
Who will follow? Nook will. Removing it from the arsenal of MNM Gaming. We've talked about this on previous broadcasts where we cast Clubhouse and how there's 4 hard breachers open, though Maverick's pick rate is in the basement at this point. Very far down. Not where it needs to be. Ace being removed means we're going to see a lot of Hibana. We're going to see Thermite probably every single round.
There it is.
Nook gone. Solis goes as well. Any predictions on the next vendor?
Honestly, no. My prediction was going to be the Nook Solis. I'm not sure what MNM is going to cook up here. Ace is an interesting one. They're going to go for a default stable here. And Valkyrie, typically Valkyrie or Mira here would probably be the 2 options to choose between. MNM, probably the best Solis team that we've seen so far at Invite 23. It makes perfect sense for any team to ban it out. But Soniqs, they're pretty much banning Solis every single map and it was against every single opponent so far. So this could be both a target ban towards MNM and Solo Top specifically, or just a we do not like this operator being played against us and we don't really like playing with it. We just want to remove it from the table. The thing is, MNM, they have this kind of operator ban benefit where they play the Asami and they play the Solis so incredibly well and often, and you can't ban both. So unless MNM ban one of them themselves, they're always going to have the other one available. That's what you see right here. Tyrant on the Asami is going to have those keeper barriers now to make the basement bombs of Clubhouse even more fortifiable in those key positions when that execute comes on through.
Do you think we're going to see a Mira every single round, or do you think it'll be site dependent?
Definitely site dependent, but also you can pick Mira perhaps in the first round. If it absolutely does not work out, the enemy just deals with it. You might go basement again, but without the Mira. But theoretically, you could bring it everywhere you'd like to. It's a playstyle choice, if you will. Soniqs, they are quite familiar with this operator themselves. They play it domestically in the NAL. I don't think they're going to have too hard of a time to figure out how to get around it.
Multiple ways to approach this basement bomb site on Clubhouse. You can roam up top, you can hold stage and extend out to strip. You can sit all 5 players inside of the basement and not have anybody move a muscle. Really just comes down to the way that your team approaches it, the stylistic choices that you want to make. This is our first time casting this new Soniqs roster, and I gotta say, there's very limited opportunities for you and I to see big upheaval at international events. It's only a couple times a year, but Citizen seems to have rejuvenated this Soniqs roster. And I, for one, I'm excited to be along for the ride, just as we have been with MNM so far. We've actually casted 3 of the 4 MNM matchups.
That we have.
They've been on morning duty, just as we have.
Citizen doing a lot of drone work here. Soniqs, I think, right now, with the acquisition of Citizen, is one of the most versatile teams at the tournament. They can play, I would say, most styles of Rainbow Six Siege, as the players here, they have so much depth to them. Geo, specifically, coming in, replacing Super, just added a bit more like gunpowder to the squad, but also keeping that experience, the leadership, etc. And it was a questionable change because Super was the brains behind the operation, but Geo has absolutely killed it so far for the squad. Now Rexon on the Hibana will open up the bar hatch. Of course, we're in the Phase 1/Phase 2 of the round. We're gonna map discover, join out the roamers. It is completely clear from the side of MNM. Soniqs, they know this. So now they're going to open up all the hatches, figure out where they want to strike next. They have so much time to work with. This shouldn't be a problem for them.
One minute on the clock still remaining for Soniqs to properly get into the building. Some of the X-Kairos going off, but seems like a relatively routine impact from below from Tyrant, just to shake off that hard destruction. There go 2 more. And then 2 more yet again. This change to Hibana has made her so much more versatile, so that you can no longer just shoot 6 X-Kairos. Pretty good stuff. Soniqs positioned over top of the kitchen hatch. Diffuser in the hands of Gunner, and well, it doesn't seem like he wants to go for the kitchen drop. When the kitchen drop does happen, who's gonna be the target? Gunner, quarterbacking the attack, just running right down the middle of the hallway and in the middle of the bomb site. There are smokes to perfectly cut him off. Solitov the very first kill, but Citizen is next in line to get one. Nath shutting down Geo. Diffuser planted though, Gunner in a hard spot, swung on by Tyrant. Down he goes, but Solitov will join. 2 kills for Citizen at this point. And Tyrant can plug those holes made from above. Good news for Soniqs. You've got the wrecking crew up top, and Citizen can continue to sledge away at that floor and make life hell for MNM. On the diffuser is Nello. Grixer makes sure that that's not long lasted. Same with Nath, getting shot away at, leaving Tyrant to go above to retrieve one of those 2 players. And all he does is retrieve an early death. Citizen 3 kills and Soniqs take round 1.
That is one of the most beautiful rounds of Rainbow Six Siege basement execute on Clubhouse I've seen in a long time. I always speak about this in the Talent Green Room, how the pillar plant on Clubhouse basement is super underrated, and no one's really doing it right now. And Soniqs, in the opening round, they executed perfectly. You gotta have the soft reach in the Buck or Sophia Ash to open up that wall. You go bottom main stairs, run towards that pillar. The pillar itself blocks C4 damage. It can block the smoke grenade. There's no line of sight from Dirt Tunnel or AKs or Church Double Door to deny that plant. And without any actual information from MNM, like a camera of sorts, they have no idea where the plant is going down. They have to assume and guess it's going down on that default position, toss out their C4s and gamble it, but it's not. And Soniqs, they really showed up in that round and bought it. Beautiful attack, I have to say.
10 seconds to go.
That top floor control by Soniqs. They never let go of it. The 2 smokes cutting it off so perfectly, Gunner running in. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, so nice. So choice. Well, talked about mirror being site-specific here. Different application of the Black Mirror now on the top floor, Nick.
I would say bar is probably the best place to play her because you can extend above and, make a not so holdable area more holdable by having those mirror windows. And speaking of low operator pick rate of Maverick, he's actually going to be brought out in the second round. It is atypical. He lost those frag grenades in the most recent Major Siege patch, and ever since then has not really been seeing a whole lot of play. What the thing is, with Mirror being on the board for MNM, Ace being banned and Nohibana being played, there's no easy way right now to deal with those mirror windows. And MNM, they don't even have any wall deny, no mute jammers, no bandit batteries, no kite claws. So if you had Hibana right now, it could be relatively easy to just, open them on up. Now instead, you gotta deal with them differently. Smoke grenades, flashbangs, punch the mirror window, for example. Citizen calling over for a rotation to drop down that office hatch, but they'll be met by Solotov with the Aruni DMR.
Barrier placed. We're covered.
Always surprises me how much damage those DMRs do.
So much.
Engagement after engagement that we've watched over the last 4 days, and a single bullet, half your HP's gone, goodbye. That's crazy, because I remember when DMRs didn't really exist on defense. People would complain about the TCSG being hit by Kaid.
Oh yeah.
You get tagged by that TCSG, whether it's Goyo or Kaid using it, they'd say, well, I'm at 30 HP for the remainder of the round. I got shot once, that's not fair. Allow us to introduce you to the DMR.
Fishing right now from Soniqs, of course. Gunner close to the bomb site, but as long as MNM has control up above, they should be fine to hold it down. Soniqs in that last minute now, so they gotta strike soon. Previous round was about 30 seconds left. They got 20 more to go to reach that mark. And Citizen on this ledge, just 1 nade left he could throw out before having to just go crazy on the entry.
Big difference between a team that stalls out and then has to act in desperation with those final 30 seconds and what the Soniqs did. First kill goes to Citizen. Takes some damage in the process. Geo's in the middle of the bomb site, but he gets shut down and, oh. Well, I don't know what happened. We do, however, have a top-down view on our other monitor, and we can go off of that one. It leaves just Citizen left alive. 1v3. They've completely shut down this Soniqs entry. And as you can hear, MNM will win.
Yeah, essentially, some member of MNM dropped down that pool table hatch, shot down Geo on their plant, and after that, Soniqs were kind of scrambling in the bomb site, running around while the members of MNM were up above them with information of the cameras on the bomb site. And Soniqs, they got shut down. Citizen last alive with just 10 HP, couldn't win the 1 versus 3, and therefore we tied up 1-1 instead. It was a incredible timing, I will have to say. The moment Geo died, the game just said no. You don't get to watch this.
If Geo's dead, none of you get to see.
Yep.
That's just how it works.
We'll be right back. We'll just host up the lobby again. The players join in, and we should be underway in no time.
Nothing affected the game, by the way.
I was gonna say, exactly. Like, the players kept playing with no issues whatsoever.
Correct, yes. There was no issue to the actual gameplay itself. It was solely an issue with observing. We still had the top-down view for us on the second monitor in front of us, but did not extend beyond that. The power of Soniqs' rush. Problem is that we didn't actually get to see what happened.
Not in great detail, no.
No.
Just saw the rough outlines and runabouts. But I mean, strategically speaking, in that round, Soniqs never took top floor control. They never had anybody on those master bedroom, gym windows, etc. And the biggest fault that occurred was that nobody from Soniqs was holding that gym hatch, despite the breach being opened up in Jacuzzi. And that's when Geo, you know, died to the Putable Heads drop because of that issue. And then once the bomb goes down the midst of the bomb site, it's so hard to retrieve it. But would you look at that? We're back extremely quickly. And I had this saying, a tournament or two back, where I was like, these players are so good these days, always join the lobby so fast. I'll say it again, thank you players for cooperating so quickly, because there were once upon a time, way back in the day, where players would just kind of sit there and somehow not join the lobby after a rehost, for example. Nowadays, they are so quick to the punch, they too want to get back on the way, especially in a tight matchup like this one, where either team can take it. No one is sitting here being like, I kind of don't want to be here. We're not going to win anyway. No, not at all.
All right, bar stage does not work out.
That's okay. We got 4 playable bomb sets on Clubhouse.
Do we?
Okay, CCTV.
I was going to say, cash
It's a bit
CCTV's pick rate is
questionable.
not great.
But it's improved since previous tournaments.
Look at this. Fire about to meet fire.
The canister. Oh no. Boom. Nice.
It's a great way to stop rushes, by the way.
Certainly is.
If you're playing ranked or casual or whatever game mode you want to play, and you fear that teams will literally just hard breach a wall and then storm the gates, bring Goyo. Put a Goyo canister on the other side. The moment that whatever hard destruction goes off to open up the wall, they'll be slowed down by the fire. And if they're not slowed down and they just decide to barge through it, oh! No.
Ouch.
Nice shot by Rexon. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I don't think Nave's gonna swing that ever again.
MNM's been doing this, though, and a bunch of teams have been doing this. We have seen a number of teams put a Goyo with the TCSG down in that position. Dirt walls keep soft. You know that they're going to come after you in Jacuzzi. Gunner now entering from a different side of the map. Even though that wall's been opened up. Oh, nice shot on the Tyrant, just catching him at the last second inside of Cash. First 2 kills for Soniqs. Trying to get back to where they were in that first round in a 5v3 now with half of the round still left to play.
And it was not just Gunner sneaking around. There was a nade from below that was tossed out just a second before that damaged Tyrant down to 20 HP. Then Tyrant ran away because of that grenade. Gunner catches him. That was Soniqs coordinating that play, not just Gunner seemingly being there for no reason.
Fending off all the remaining drones. Solotov is dead now as well. Citizen finding his kill as action occurring off-site, leaving just Nello and Uzis, and well, just Uzis. Soniqs don't like that they lost that round, so they're going to do the next one flawlessly. They're not going to give MNM a single inch.
Just take that time. Good job, Ryan. Yeah. The guy had bullet holes in the wall, just one tapped it. I just clicked one.
Right there. Boom. And again.
And again. But slower. I want the slowest replay possible. That's what I want.
I saw a statistic on Reddit yesterday, someone made about Soniqs, where whenever they throw like a 1v3 or something like that, like a round they should really, really win, that's the last round they ever lose in a series. So there's this statistical thing where Sonic, and the thing is, they've thrown, I think it's a 1v4, they've thrown a 1v4 once in every single best of 3 so far, and on that particular map where they throw it, they will not lose a single round after. So I'm just waiting, and I urge everyone else to like keep track of it. If Sonics throw a 1v4, it's game over, map over rather, for MNM, because they will not lose anything afterwards, apparently. So far it's true every time. Sometimes it just takes a massive throw to get people back up into it. You know, discipline, boys, discipline.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a dirt attack, isn't it, Gio? That last moment attack, a repick from Thermite to a Monty. It signifies one thing. It's gonna be a kitchen hatch, dirt direct attack. So Sledge, kitchen hatch. Iana probably go dirt with the grenades. Hibana goes kitchen to get the hatch, obviously. Monty goes through dirt. You just work through the bomb site. It's a classic one. So the counters for MNM, well, it's gonna be the Smoke, Toxic Babes, or the C4 from Nath, but no. Gunner gets in and gets out. Killed the default cam as well. Information denied. So MNM, they might think the roam clear is about to commence like normally because office hatch opened up, all 3 default cams are shot, might even open the door up to the jacuzzi wall. But Sonic so far is still hovering around dirt tunnel and kitchen. So they're not giving away that things are different than last time. They're trying to give away the idea that they are indeed going to be roam clearing. But then, at some point, they might just hit that dirt tunnel really quickly.
Or, as we saw in the very first round, it's going to be a more practice take. Sonics are quite comfortable going until the final moments of a round because they stick to the plan that they have. And I mean, it worked. They were quicker on round number 2, and I think that maybe a bit too fast.
Yeah, they could have taken 20.
So fast, it crashed the game. So here's the dirt that we talked about. Left soft, but immediately Gio is going to confront the mute, rather, of Nello, not the smoke. There's no smoke playing in dirt. Use this as likely inside a church. Nello sees the advance of the mountain and will have to continue his retreat. Nitro Cell goes out, does a huge chunk of damage to Gio, as do some of the bullets when he turns to block the Nitro Cell. That's about as good as Nello's going to be able to do on his own.
The thing is, there's no one behind you either, but Nello doesn't know this. He has to respect and fear that there might be, but the other 4 members of Sonics are proactively working that verticality and kitchen in the hallway. Gio buying so much time, but MNM, they read it, they rotate that impact grenade and get that free kill.
Solotov dies to Rexon, who gets the refrag, and with a minute to go, look at how close Grixer is to the bomb site, joined by Gunner. These 2 players were so fast to get in. No! Oh, man. It was a misinput! It was a misinput! Sonics lose 2 to a team nade, and now Grixer's gone as well. That's a tilter. Rexon 1v4. I mean...
Damn. Tried to nade above the triple view of Church, but I guess it hit the lip and bounced back, and in the wrong direction. You gotta laugh at that one if you're Sonics. You really can't get mad. It's obviously not intentional. It's not like Grixer was like, nah, I don't want to win this round anyway. Double team kill, no. Make the best of it that you can.
Well, I mean, at this point, what does Rexon do? He's going to have a death drop. He's a great player who can make incredible shots, but you're dropping with 4 people looking in the same area. They know exactly where you are. MNM might feed you a free kill for the stats, but that round was over the moment that the grenade dropped and killed both players from Sonics. Grixer killing himself and Gunner in the process. And not just the 2 players, but also ultimately killing any chance of winning the round. This bit of coordination that you talked about.
Yeah. Rotating the impact grenades after that C4, because Nello knew he had done so much damage towards the Monty, so he could calculate, okay, he's going to be less than half HP now. I need 1 set of impact grenades at most to destroy this Monty member, that is Gio, inside of Dirt Tunnel. And honestly, Sonics, they didn't go for that dirt push at all. It seemed very much like Gio's entire purpose in that round was to cause distraction, perhaps have 2 or 3 members of the MNM rotate toward him, and then they were going to execute into that short hallway moto door, and they were just about to do so, but then that unfortunate grenade occurred and stopped the plan right then and there, and that changed the course of the entire round. So Sonics really are making it difficult for their opponents to understand what they're trying to do, because it looked like a roam clear. Then it looked like a classical dirt push with kitchen control, but it was actually a bottom main stairs execute that was about to happen, and it had pretty much everybody fooled, but ultimately did not matter. MNM they're comfortably building rounds here and there. And so far, every team, they take one round, lose the following. No one is really building a real round count lead. That's why the scoreline is 2-2.
I mean, obviously we had extenuating circumstances in that second round, but I would have loved to have seen what exactly happened after Geo died. Obviously in this round number 4, that double nade kill,
Yeah.
that changes the entire tone of the round. Your church control, or what you could have established from church control, is gone. Your moto control is gone. The main focus on that hallway, gone as well.
I mean, your entire manpower is gone.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
You got nothing.
So, bad timing, but...
I'm fishing here.
Oh my.
Gunner took just like 1 point of damage while Maverick in the wall. Trying to see if it's electrified. It is not, but perhaps it was. I was earlier, I suppose that's what happened, yeah.
Nello still does have one of those batteries in his back pocket.
Jacuzzi well opened up. There is ranged heartbeat on the side of Soniqs this time, but Nello perfectly reads it. Plays the bandit as well for the counter. Citizen's nade hits Solotov again inside of office. Solotov not getting any breathing room in this matchup so far. Him and Users have been the star players, quote-unquote star players, throughout the first 3 matches MNM have played so far. So far, they've been shut down. It's Tyrant leading the kill count with 5 kills for MNM. Citizen, no surprise. 7 and 2 for Soniqs so far.
I mean, when you brought Ben over from that G2 roster, you knew that he was going to be able to kill everything in his path.
Him and Shaiko have been the 2 stat runners for EWEL for quite some time now, and Geo puts, or it's not Geo, sorry. Geo's also a great player, but Citizen puts up great numbers despite being on a winning team, an average team, or a losing team. Individually, he's always been a phenomenal player.
Oh no! I don't know if that's what Tyrant... No, it certainly wasn't what he meant to do. Tyrant meant to block off the window that Gunner is looking through. That was a miss. It sounds like a nade hits Nello, does a lot of damage, first kill in the round. Or rather, first kill for MNM in the round. Goes to Geo. That smoke of Solotov that we saw challenging the hatch earlier died. Grixer's gonna look the wrong way. And this very quiet pitter-patter of the UMP does its job. Nello a kill as well. He might be on low HP, but still capable of carrying a weapon. Rexon goes down next, trying to engage with Usus. That's gonna leave Gunner in a 1v4. These rounds have been so dominant for the teams that end up winning. Really haven't gone down to the wire. Gunner knows where at least 2 of them are. He's got speculation on a 3rd.
10 seconds to go.
He'll fire away and they'll decide to feed him kills at this point. Why not? Stop him from getting into the building. Gunner picks up 3 kills. It's suddenly a 1v1 if he can get to Nafe, but he doesn't use target prioritization right. He could have tried to get the diffuser down. Doesn't do it.
It's so shit to put on that pause. I'm getting it from below and the fucking offside at the same time is so shit.
I didn't understand a word of that other than the swear word.
No, same. Nello in chat saying, enter the building. Bit of banter in chat.
What? What did you say?
Even
Apparently they don't understand each other.
Oh my god. I will say for Soniqs, the only concern I'm seeing for them so far is that, you know, they start the round off very much together, 4 or 5 members, trying to achieve the same goal and objective, but then in the last minute 30 seconds, at least in the last round that we just saw, they all gone to their own paths, right? One person bottom main stairs, one person solo on the windows, one person solo on the office hatch, one person solo breach, and it's 1 versus 1 gunfights that MNM are just winning, making it a lot easier because MNM, they thrive taking gunfights. I mean, they have young gunners, they can fight back. Soniqs, on the rounds they won, basement attack and the first gym attack, that's when they're playing together, 2 versus 2s, 2 versus 1, when they have the advantage, because opening kill-wise, Soniqs, they lead the charge. But they're not building that man lead in terms of opening kill into a convincing round victory or a further lead being built. They get the kill, then they lose the opening afterwards, then they're back to a 4v4, then they go on their own paths, and then they lose the round.
There's not enough man.
More man. Need more man.
Too much man.
Too much man.
Now there's too much man. You know that one man's too much man is another man's not enough man.
Okay.
Might also be somebody's just enough man.
Just enough man.
J-E-M. Nave holding court inside of stock. He drops through the hatch. Some teams will move quickly through dirt to try to pinch him out. Soniqs' focus is not there, so for the time being, he will live. The Warden will be able to reposition.
For now.
In terms of bomb sites played, this is the very final defense for MNM, and they start off strong. Gunner's attempt to get into the garage is swiftly ended by Solotov. There's another there as well. Nello types, you tried.
Oh, no.
Get in the building, you tried. 2 kills for Solotov up top, inside a garage. Rexon and Gunner removed. Hard breach still available. No. Geo has both exothermic charges, it would appear, but you're attacking this bar stage bomb site. Might need more than just an exothermic charge or 2.
The best thing about Nello being on typing in chat is that he's sitting like comfortably either on side or behind the mirror window doing nothing, and it's all his young players running on the map, shutting down Soniqs. And he's just like, yeah, you tried, you failed, next.
It's like when, it's like that meme where it's like, all right, Grandma, let's get you back to bed. Nello might as well be a senior citizen in comparison to the rest of the players on MNM.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, there's a bit of humor in that, right? Where it's the person who talks the most trash in your game is always the bottom frag.
Yeah.
Always that one. It's always the worst player on the team. And that's what makes it sting so much more. Because it's like, you don't get to say that. You don't get to say that. Another way, Soniqs, after losing those first 2 picks, they've had a bit of difficulty as to figure out what to do next. The bomb site is down below. Last time Soniqs attacked bar stage, they were quick to get in, but they didn't clear out the top floor. Nice shot by Nafe. Grixer is no more. Geo's the next one up, but he gets a single kill onto Nello, who decides that the safety and comfort of the mirror window is not what he so desires. 20 seconds left for Citizen and Geo to find as many kills as is humanly possible. 2 last players from Soniqs have both been softened up. There's a good team effort. Down Geo, Citizen inside a weight room. Gains? Any gains to be found? No. Citizen actually killed Geo. Huh? Citizen downed Geo again. There was a misinput.
Another one of those.
This is Soniqs' map, and while Clubhouse does tend to skew towards the defense more often than not, MNM being up 4-2 after the first half might be a worrisome position for SQ.
That and also Soniqs, as I mentioned earlier, they've been able to watch MNM play Clubhouse twice before. Once against Wolves, once against Liquid. And MNM won both of those, so they're clearly trying and doing things successfully. And sure, teams at this level of play, they don't just have one singular strat they'll be using and one single way of playing the game. But, you know, conceptually, how MNM they view Clubhouse as a map, you should be able to get a pretty good read from that if you studied those games, which I can bet you Soniqs they have. If you're gonna pick Clubhouse against your opponent and they've played it twice, you have seen them play it, or at the very least, your analyst has, they have notes for you, etc. Can be individual rounds and moments that are key that you can witness. So far though, Soniqs have a good grasp of the first minute of how they want to approach it, but then things kind of get worse in that mid-stage of the round where, again, they isolate themselves very much and they lose those individual gunfights when they could actually try and get past those barriers in other ways. Use utility, send more manpower in the same direction, and MNM, they're gonna show us a bunch of utility in the first round. Capital Fire, grenades, flashbangs, EMP, 2 sets of can openers, plus the Banner Primary Heart Breach. They are well prepared for this. Rexon, of course, knows the whereabouts of one member as he just opened up the garage door. Doesn't want to challenge too aggressively, however, because with the doors and windows being opened up on main and blue, if he overstays his welcome, he'll be stuck. So instead, you gotta fall back earlier rather than later and keep yourself alive.
This is the first Mozzie that we've seen so far, Nick. I think this is the first Mozzie, and I think this is the first Oryx that have appeared on our screen. Also the first Capital, that's for sure.
Yes, the Capital is definitely the first.
I think the only 2 operators that haven't been played so far was, what, a Fuse and a Kali. Every other operator in the game has seen play, which we've not been able to say that at previous events. Geo reads into the push from Tyrant upstairs, gets a kill, and then the roaming mute and try to get back to the bomb site down below.
Yeah. Who said mute jammers can't give you information? The moment Tyrant shut the jammer, that's when Geo swings the door. So again, you can use these kind of different pieces of utility as information gainers.
Ooh. Runs out of munitions on the SMG. Uses will need to be picked back up by Solotov. He's on a hard floor at least, so there's no way to impact or to potentially nitro him. X-Kairos go off. Does not secure the claw. I don't know if it opened up any of the hatch either. It doesn't look like it. Citizen desperately trying to shoot them through the floor. If you're wondering, why is this happening? Gadgets have an explosive radius.
Yes.
So if you were to put down a Selma on the ground, or if you were to put an exothermic charge on the floor, not touching the hatch, but close to it, the explosion will take the hatch with it.
Yeah.
It's a nifty little way to get around the Electroclaw. We see teams use it quite a lot. It's just a little bit trickier with Hibana.
Yeah.
Because the explosive radius of those X-Kairos is quite small.
It is. It's very small, but it's big enough to get it done, but you need to be more precise with it. MNM in the 4v4, they don't have a lead, and there it goes. Gunnar finds, uses his head. And the members are healthy in their health bar, though.
Soniqs right now, significantly better in these engagements. They've only lost Geo, who was sacrificed earlier on. Nello and Solotov, the last two players from MNM, might as well be miles apart. Nade goes out by Solotov, almost kills himself in the process. Nello falls, Solotov inside of blue, fed by Gunnar as well. You might make fun of Gunnar, but every insult only makes him stronger. Soniqs successful on their very first defense.
Hey, let our gameplay do the talking, okay? Let our gameplay do the talking.
Heard that. Let's do Jim.
Richard, do you want to go zombie?
Yeah, I can go zombie.
Who do you want me to go here?
I like that comment by Grixer.
Yeah.
Gunnar, wait,
Yeah.
Richard, you can go Frost and Gunnar go zombie.
I'll go Frost.
Let our playing do the talking.
Let our playing do the talking.
I bet you that somebody was about to go nuclear in in-game chat, and he's like, no, listen. The game do the talking, right?
Well, somebody asked, did I die to Nello?
Oh, okay, that's how he started. I see.
Yeah. Somebody said, did I die to Nello?
Okay.
So.
Yeah, okay, that explains it. Yeah. That's the thing, you can easily get kind of sidetracked by engaging in these in-game chat kind of banters. And the thing is, when MNM are winning, you know, things are all good and fun for them, but Nello on the scoreboard is 1-6. And we can talk about him being a support player, etc. But Nello's gonna look like a funny guy if they end up losing every single round, you know, since the side swap, and he goes like 1-10. Then all of a sudden, that smack talk that we saw earlier doesn't stick so well and doesn't really fit either. Soniqs, they're gonna say, you know, we'll just turn this comeback around and let that statement speak for itself. The second defense is gonna be Jim. And Soniqs, in their player comms, they seem very flexible and open to how they play Jim, right? They're like, do you want to play Asami? Okay, I want to play this, okay. I'm sure they have the stable 3, the Frost, the Bandit, the Mira. It's going to be a Mira Jim hold. But then you have +2s, right? You're going to have ADSs because of Grenade. It's going to be Grixer and Jaeger. And then Gunnar can be a +1 saying, maybe it's Asami, maybe it's Castle, maybe it's something third. A lot of options available. Rotaro Drone doing great work at the ADS and the shield.
Hard pressed to find a map where a Rotaro drone can get more value than Clubhouse. Think about all the goodies that you can take care of. Frost mats, ADSs, Kiva barriers, bandit batteries.
Castle barricades.
Oh, I was just listing the operators that were currently being played, Nick.
Oh, that's fair. I was listening to one that's commonly played on Gym Defense.
Oh, Gunnar taking an engagement on Secret, down and finished off. Suddenly, MNM pick up 2 kills. Very swiftly. Tyrant and Usus get on the board.
It's an aggressive start for them. But MNM, they gotta hold on strong. They can't throw this lead. Soniqs, they still have the bomb site itself. They have a mirror window from office into connector. And the second one, I believe, is facing the Jacuzzi breach, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. So they have 2 areas they can relatively comfortably hold as their ground. But MNM, they also have ways to deal with this, right? They have 1 set of grenades. They still have 1 set of secondary EMPs for any electrified wall. Lion scans will keep the defenders stuck in corners if that's where they end up staying at.
Yeah, there's no operators on the board that can negate Lion's gadget.
Nope, no vigil, no mute.
That's correct. You saw the mute be particularly effective against the Dokkaebi in the previous round as well, silencing that first logic bomb that had gone out. That's what allowed Geo to roam upstairs, right? He got called by the logic bomb, stepped into the mute jammer. Then when that mute jammer got shot, Geo was there to pounce on it. Uses in a reflex test. Over by weight room, he knows that he's got the bandit pinned down on Jacuzzi wall. That's at least one of the 3 players that have information on.
He's trying to get the Frostman with the Kairos. I'm not sure that's actually going to work. It's a bit of a 50-50. It didn't.
No.
No.
What did I say about the small explosive radius?
Yep.
Yeah, it's quite small. Anyway.
A for effort.
Nade in for Tyrant, fully cooked. He'll drop in the doorway, but it's a little bit underthrown. So what happens? Nello and the follow-up. But Soniqs are pushing back on this MNM entrance. They've got information. Nello the flashbang, he'll take some control over by the stairs, only good enough for one, but it's Uzis and Rexin in a 1v1. Diffuser retrieved, Uzis going for the plant. Is there information for Rexin to play off of this? He just has to run up and take the engagement head on, and he'll go through and he gets it! Final second, Rexin calls it correctly. Tie game, Soniqs.
You guys fucking suck. From
And he writes LOL on the wall and looks at it.
Attackers activated.
They are letting their gaming, or their playing rather, do the talking. They didn't write anything in chat. I'll give them that. It's a close at 10 for MNM. Nello, he swung that main stairs engagement. He got the flick onto the mirror that was vaulting over because he was blinded from the flashbang. Felt like he had to fight the second member as well. Unfortunately, because of hindsight, we can kind of look at it being like Nello didn't have to go for that swing because Uzis on the line, he won his own 1 versus 1 as well, making that a 1 versus 1. But it could have been a 1 versus 2 with Nello holding that main stairs entryway while Uzis could get down the plant like he did afterwards in the 1v1 instead. So MNM unfortunately put themselves in a... It's a bit, what we call like a 50-50, like a 1 versus 1 was anyone's round to take, but Uzis has to gamble. Do I go into Gym on the left or into Master Bedroom on the right? Rexin, same discussion. Going up that main stairs, you can go Gym hallway or into Master Bedroom door. Rexin, he guessed correctly, entered the right area, got a free kill onto Uzis who could not really fight back. So he had just gotten that diffuser down. Bar defense now as we're tied up 4-4, and again that verticality from up above Master Bedroom, that means the entire bomb site can be held from above. MNM Gaming, they might need to go upstairs. Soniqs, they did not, and they lost their bar attack earlier on when they were on the attack inside.
Device set.
You know that there's 4 viable bomb sites on this map, Nick?
Yeah, but one of those.
How many have we been playing so far?
Only 3.
Curious.
Yeah.
Curious.
It's kind of amateur hour right now between these two teams. Not showing the 4th bomb site yet. Kind of a disappointment, to be honest.
I have heard from teams though, if Maverick is on the board, Cash CCTV is just not worth it.
It is rough.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's purely meme potential here. You shouldn't actually go CCTV unless you're absolutely crazy. Or you have like a really nice pocket strat. But yeah. You could, yeah, I won't get into it now, but there's some crazy clash strats in CCTV where you keep the wall open instead of reinforcing that main breach wall. G2 did against Empire, it worked crazy. Other teams could try that. Anyway, MNM, they were terror drones, again finding more and more value, just taking out pieces of utility, denying all the cameras, etc. But even if all the cameras get shut down on the bomb site, like these evil eyes, again, the floor above the bomb site is completely broken apart. There is nowhere safely that you can plant that diffuser. However, if you have smoke grenades, maybe inside the smoke could buy you at least a chance of a plant.
It's gonna be a very quick execute right now. Gunner starts it off, taking down Nafe as that stage wall opens up. Followed up by Geo dying. Solitov gets that pick. Gunner now, the next one to take some damage from Nello. Ooh, that one's gonna sting in particular with the words those two have been exchanging with one another. What could have been a fast way into the bomb site from MNM has slowed down considerably, but they do hold the advantage when it comes to players left alive. So why not? You've got a minute to go. Get back on your gadgetry, slow things down, and make sure that those last 3 players of Soniqs just walk right into your guns.
Sounds very easy and simple when you put it like that, to be honest, Parker, but can they do it? That's the question, because Solotov is very afraid of this main stairs, thinking that there has to be a play over there holding me stuck on this door. The thing is, there isn't, because Soniqs, they're retaking above, they want top floor control to deny that plant. There are 2 smokes in pocket of Nello that can start this setup.
Here it comes, diffuser getting planted by Nello amidst the smoke. Rexin has the perfect operator for it. Soniqs are able to stop it in its tracks.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
And they have the advantage now. 2 kills on MNM. Diffuser in the hands he uses. They'll try yet again for MNM. Solitov will hunt the players above. Falling off. He loses the duel. It's Usus. With the diffuser in hand, he has to get all of it done himself. But Citizen, who started it, will end it as well. 3 in a row for Soniqs. They take the lead.
Good job. Good job.
Take the fucking time out!
Gunner's unhinged.
I would like you to know that it is 10:56 in the morning.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen preschoolers. When I was in high school, I had to do my community service hours at a daycare to get them done to graduate high school.
Okay.
I have not seen preschoolers with that much energy.
Jesus.
The amount of energy that this man has is absurd.
No, it is. It certainly is.
If they go that side again, if they go that side next time, you're gonna get fucking Monty, and you're gonna plant him the fucking first second in the way. So
If comes up, that's all we're going to do.
Very different types of comms here between the two teams. Very different. MNM, they're rather quiet. A little bit mellow, you could argue. They were talking about going for mellow.
What about Noah?
Well, he's not here, unfortunately, right? Speaking of a very fast multi-execute plant is what I heard on basement. So maybe we are going to see that third execute after all. We'll have to wait and see. So far, Monty isn't even on the board. But of course, Attacker Repeat can change that once you verify the bomb site itself. While we could quietly listen to MNM, I just heard the background noise of probably Gunner. I couldn't tell what he was saying or anything like that, but just like he was definitely talking. Oh my. I mean, the thing is, the energy that you create in your team environment, whether it's 10 a.m. or whether it's 10 p.m. and, you know, you're supposed to be tired, it can really make a big difference here. Especially once you gain some momentum, or if you're down bad, you know, have some funny vibes. Get things back into a good, positive mindset. A place you can thrive in, if you will. No one's on the board, so that is not going to be the case. No fast, funny plans. It's going to be that same stable, utility-oriented lineup that we saw in the first attacking round from MNM, which was also a basement attack. Didn't work for them, though. 3 rounds in a row for Soniqs. Ever since the side swap, MNM has not been able to get much of an advantage in these rounds. Of course, with that tactical timeout, are looking to change just that.
Well. This is the first real time that we've seen MNM sweat in all of these matches.
Yeah.
Again, a reminder for those that aren't exactly following the stats at home, these two teams enter undefeated. Neither have dropped a single map. There have been some scares here or there, some scary rounds. Leads surrendered, but overall, I think most people that watch would agree that these two teams look like two of the best teams at the event.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for both of them, and even more unfortunate for the other 3 teams in their group, that they all tend to be in the same group with them.
I mean, not only have they not like lost a map, only a single map has gone into overtime between both teams combined. That was the 8-6 victory for MNM on Clubhouse against Liquid. Every other map for both teams have been in regulation, 7-3, 7-4 most commonly, that is. That's very impressive. And Liquid's in this group, by the way, right? So it's like you wouldn't expect that to be the lay of the land. A lot of teams and fans are expecting a lot from Liquid, but so far they haven't found it. And both of these two teams have taken them down 2-0 as well.
A quiet round. Not that these are quiet teams, but a quiet round.
Nothing yet to happen, no, but that hatch is opened up. No kitchen focus, however, from MNM, not really. They're gonna try it now. Sort of walks on in with that EMP, perhaps it denies pre-play C4. No heartbreaks though.
No. Double heartbreach available for MNM. Nice to see a Thatcher on the board. Those pocket-sized EMPs are not gonna be quite enough. Here come the smokes. Nave starting things off. Very first kill on to Gunner. Nello ends up flashing himself. Amidst the smoke, Rexon thinks there might be one, so out goes an impact. Now it's Grixer to get a kill. Soniqs on the board. Nello will answer back. MNM with 2, and Nello's in. He doesn't hold the diffuser though, Nave does. I don't know if that was a distraction or not. Gio's attention over towards Blue as he gets shot away at from the hatch. It's just him and Citizen, that's it for Soniqs. Diffuser goes down for MNM. The timeout seems to have worked. Can SQ bail themselves out of this situation? A bit of a sticky situation. Gio's return to the bomb site. Greets Nello with the SMG-11. Gio gets 2 to his name. A 2v2 now. Gio a third, and he just hops on the diffuser. He'll rely on Citizen to cover. Tyrant drops. They have the information, and Tyrant sees Gio. Citizen, no information himself. He just knows the sounds. Try to psych him out, but Tyrant is simply better. A 1v1 against former region mates. And MNM will send us to all 12 rounds with that victory. Both teams at 5 apiece.
I mean, that is disgusting from Gio. All 3 headshots as well. He didn't have full HP either, so just instantaneous headshots favoring him. And the moment MM won the round, they went, what are we doing? Like, they are quite literally getting destroyed by Gio in that post-up position, holding way too offensive angles and not setting up any successful trades. Yes, they get the round, but it's not the way they wanted. And if Soniqs gonna keep playing like that, I mean, eventually, they're just gonna outright clutch the round and steal it away from MNM's side. When you're 5-5, well, next round victory means match point. It's the best place to be in.
My favorite round. I say it every time, this is my favorite round of Rainbow Six Siege.
It's understandably so.
No matter what happens.
That's like...
Somebody moves to match point.
I would say my absolute favorite round, like this is like very generic, it's like max OT final round. Like the absolute final round no matter what. That's an easy one. Also the very first round. You know, who sets the pace for the match? Any spawn peaks or aggression, a rush for example. Like the very first round between these two teams, Soniqs' basement attack that was flawlessly executed. Loved it. Every second of it. Speaking of spawn peaks, Rexon, he attempts it. Thinks something else is more important, runs away. And Tyrant can't open up the door. There it is.
We've all had those problems.
Yeah, we've been there.
Seen countless teams at this event so far, Nick. Go for that spawn peak either when they think they have gotten under the skin of their opponents or they think they have enough that they can, well, they can gamble on losing a round. There it is. Citizen reads Solitov like a book. And just a cheeky grin on Ben's face.
Yep. We actually saw this in our cast yesterday, Parker, where somebody did not prone below the window and the Sledge got away with his life. And I was like, you gotta pre-prone below the window to get that guaranteed kill. Citizen clearly knows that. Solitov didn't. If you're the Sledge in that scenario, instead of trying to go up into the roof, just go off to the side. That way, if somebody is prone below the window, you will get away with your life intact, because it's not worth dying as a Sledge just to open up a single castle barricade, because castle, he has 4 of them. And of course, as a Sledge, you want to keep your frag grenades intact, because right now, you need them for this bandit trick, which successfully goes out from Citizen.
Excellently done. He's going to miss out on the other exothermic charge. I don't think he has time to get it. No?
Actually, because there's no more grenades on the attack inside, they didn't dare do it. It would have worked if they had committed to it, but they're like, we don't want to get tricked again, so let's not go for this right now. Maybe go gym window instead or something. Either way, this has severely stopped MNM from achieving their goal, and they might never get it this round. Oh yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. Well, not only does Soniqs have a numbers advantage, but now they've got a big win in the utility battle. What's your best way in at this point? Is there enough time to get them down onto the main floor? Maybe go up the stairs, maybe go up through construction? Is that the game plan?
I mean, you can sneak in time from below, as you can tell from the silhouette. Nello can try, or Nayfer can try and go for a hero breach, but that shouldn't be the case. And no,
got it.
It's not.
This is perfectly played by Soniqs. But what did I say? Maybe go up the stairs, right? And that's what Tyrant does. If you can't beat the bandit in terms of tricking, at least you can beat him with bullets. MNM finding 2 kills. Now it's Grixer's turn to die, but Rexon off site. He turns his sights towards Jim. Nello walks right in. Down goes Gio. They'll exchange words. Rexon down for the count. It's Gunnar, the only one still up for Soniqs. Once Dave can secure the kill, of course. Gunnar in weight room. No gains whatsoever for Soniqs, but it's a gained round for MNM as they move to map point on Soniqs map.
And that's huge. I mean, it's like, let me just listen here.
You guys are so good. You guys are so good.
Yeah, you guys are so good.
It's good fucking calls.
Strategically, a lost round from MNM. Tyrant walked up the main stairs, and the aggressive follow-up on the windows from the rest of MNM, just getting into the building. But the only way they really could was off the hatch, side window jump in, and of course the main stairs. And they utilized all three of them, and again, they just won their individual gunfights. It's a risky way to go about it, but it's the only way to go in that round for them. Now we're looking down that match point scenario, and Soniqs, they said let the playing to the talking. Well, right now they're not winning. Something has to change. Basement bomb site is where they're gonna gamble all their remaining opportunities. They need OT for a chance at Clubhouse.
Well, even though these rounds have been somewhat definitive, we've had a couple that have come down to the wire. Soniqs are going to run with a small change in this composition. They're going to bring a Capkin onto the board.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
Let's see as much Capkin as we used to. No way. Oh, Rexen just a bit above the head. Up and to the left. But he knows the common spots. He's prepared for them. Now by secret as the window gets shot out. This is telltale signs of that Type 89.
Yeah.
One of the most distinct sounds in the game for weapons, I find at least. Would you concur?
I would definitely agree with that statement, yeah.
But do you concur?
I concur.
Very good.
I concur.
Drone activated.
Electro shuffle onto that moto hatch. Because not everything needs to be a juggle. Can he inch past this pest on the door? Solotov says no. You're going to need every drone you have at your disposal. MNM have already lost 3 drones through 2 minutes. They'll drone in through that cache CCTV portion of the map, starting with CCTV. Find out that, well, they might be clear. They've now got drones inside of Jim and inside of Master. There's a mute jammer on the other side of it.
That's the thing, right? It might be clear, but you gotta double, triple check because if someone's hiding in the corner, that really could mess you up. They figure out it's all clear. They get the jammers, top floor in control, but so much time spent. 1 minute 30 seconds. They're not far behind in terms of pacing, but they can't slow down now. They gotta keep up the current speed at minimum.
Oh, not ideal. I think he loses 1 in the process. Citizen taking some damage. What's that from?
From a teammate C4.
I was going to say, that sounded like a nitro cell, right?
Yeah. I think it was a pre-play C4, and Citizen ran back to escape, and then he met the C4.
Not ideal. There's another C4 that gets ripped and gone. 3 explosives that SQ had, all gone. I guess they technically have more with the impacts, but it's the nitro cells that are most damaging. Pocket EMPs need to take care of the Electric Claw that's on that moto hatch, and it's spotted. Good coordination. They should be able to get this hatch quite easily.
It's well done. Didn't just preemptively throw down that EMP to get the information to act upon, okay, which again, it buys, or rather it burns down the clock to 30 seconds, but it guarantees the opening of the hatch.
Solotov will go in on his own through blue, scares away the Capkin, doing no damage in the process. There go the smokes, there go the fires, Tyrant all out of utility on that Capitao. Nade primed and ready, goes in. Nello, lead-off kill onto Gunner in this execute. Nade taking some damage, but MNM are cleaning house. Soniqs have lost 3 players. Rexen will need to clutch. Diffuser in the hands of Uzis. If Rexen can stop it, he'll send his team to overtime, and suddenly Rexen kills them all. He just needs to get to Uzis, and he does it! Good God damn, what a play by Richie! He thought the match was over.
No, it's not game over, guys. It's overtime.
You ever get so confident that you think you just won the game for your team? In an act of celebration, Rexen throws off his buds, throws off his headphones, but there's still at least 2 rounds to go.
That's how exciting that was. I mean, I was like, there is no way that is winnable by any stretch of the imagination. But the Capkin traps combined with the beautiful positioning of Rexen, denying the right angles at the right time to isolate those 1v1 gunfights, they make it possible. And MNM, they had this moment 2 rounds ago saying, what are we doing? That right there is exactly the question. In like a 1 versus 4, what are we doing losing that round? There's no time to worry about it because MNM's timeout, it's burned. It's 6-6 overtime. They're now on the defense. They're going to go to basement in a similar fashion with those mute jammers up above. And Soniqs are now laughing all the way into OT. Fair enough, they thought it was over, but I'm sure they got more fight in them.
Good lord, what a clutch that was.
10 seconds to go. Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Capcan of all things really was the hero on what could have been the final round for them.
Attackers are
As you said, Parker, it's an operator that we don't see that often, but sometimes it just does all the work for you without having to use the weapon. Of course, Rexon used both the gadget and the weapon in the round. Those Capcan traps can do so much damage.
Well, that was one for the ages. My goodness. And now we go to overtime. Soniqs on attack. A rare side swap. It's a bit of a scare for Soniqs fans, though. I mean, take a look at it. Look at...
Sit in.
There we go. You know, it's like my father always says.
No.
21 times a charm.
Sure. Keep up that tally, Parker. We're 17.
Goes and it goes and it goes.
Up and up and up. I like how Citizen, he gave like a quick look to his right when he missed it to say, he's like, wait, is that me or is it the game?
Is anybody else seeing this?
Yeah, it's like, am I crazy? I'll try again. Okay, it works now. You know, you waste 3 seconds, it's fine. Not a big deal. Soniqs with, look at this, 1 minute 50. Now, that's a quick pace.
Yep.
Soniqs, they spent 3 C4s themselves last round to try and slow things down and get a kill. MNM, they do have 2 C4s in their inventory. 0 to be spent yet. MNM, they like to save them for the execute itself, whereas Soniqs, they try to build an advantage early with it instead. So 2 different styles of play in terms of siege.
You said it was quick, and then, well, we get into the building. Next step is, where do you go from here?
It's hatch time, baby. You gotta keep this on this floor. You know, make sure there's no kite claw. If there is, clear it. Then get the blue hatch, the moto hatch, kitchen hatch. Of course, dirt walls were soft. We saw that earlier. So once everything's being opened up, Soniqs, they have every possible avenue at their disposal. It's a matter of what they would like to do more than anything else. And there's no keeper barriers, no Asami on the board from MNM. So AK's position, not as strong as it could have been.
Uh-oh. Those are some X-Kairos that might be a little bit squandered. Do these ones actually work? That's the real question here. We only got to see Soniqs attack this bomb site twice, Nick, and both times that they did it, well, there was a bit of a different result.
Yeah.
The first time, it looked like almost perfect siege with the way that they approached this. They got the smoke grenades down, they rushed through, got the plant on pillar. Second time, it was a poorly timed nade from Grixer that killed him and one of his teammates and ultimately defanged this push. It's now MNM who's totally defanging Soniqs. Their 2 kills, a third will come in. MNM, they allowed Richie, they allowed Rexon to live, but they do not allow SQ to win this round. They were on match point. They're going to go back onto it as MNM take the round almost flawlessly.
Yeah.
Wait.
Now, let's just compose.
Did they say composed?
Let's just compose.
Let's just
be composed.
Yeah, okay. MNM's attack inside hasn't been their strongest so far. They only won 2 of their 6 rounds previously. Now Soniqs, they have every bomb site open to them. They're gonna also up that basement defense. No surprise there. It is the strongest or most favored defender bomb site so far. And again, Capca being brought out, different player of course. Now it's Citizen's turn as Rexon's found himself onto the Woma instead. And no jammers and pests up on top floor. It'll be Capcan traps instead. So if MNM they rush through the building too quickly to transit at a fast pace, they might just find their own end. Soniqs are bringing,
10 seconds left.
interestingly enough, they're bringing less kind of like time waste, like Mossy and Mute for the top floor room clear, but then they're bringing the Goyo Fire, which kind of speaks to they're expecting MNM to execute with little time left. So kind of playing a similar style of Siege, but in a different way. Gun on the Bandit to keep those armory wall intact. They don't want them to go for that kind of execute where they won the previous time, or they got the bump down rather, but Rex clutched it. And it'll start top floor again. Gonna go through their stages A, B, 3, the 1, 2, 3. Roam clear top, make your way down, open up the floor. Hopefully not run into a double calculating trap on office door. That would be Solotov on the sledge. And having the same struggle as Citizen. Oh, he sees him. Okay.
He knows that struggle.
Captain Chucks got spotted. Solotov will stay alive. That would have been a very unfortunate death if that would go through.
It's a really even match when you look at the scoreboard. The only player who's really lagging behind on either team would be Grixer on Soniqs and Nafe on MNM, but I mean, you're so close. You're at the point where 6 is the lowest number of kills.
Yeah.
And 12 is the highest on Citizen. Like, that's really not a bad spread.
No, it's not. I mean, not at all.
There was a period of time when Geo, I mean, 7 and 12 for Geo is not great, but I mean, he's playing on those roles that you're going to often be tasked with probably dying. And Geo has kept Soniqs close a number of rounds because of his gameplay, so the stats don't tell the full story. At one time, I think Geo was like 2 and 8.
Yeah.
So it's at least been a graceful recovery in that sense.
Even Nello was 1 and 6, and he's now back onto 8 and 10.
Yeah.
And he's also off the Heart Breachers onto Thatcher instead, so he's also allowed more freedom. Nave instead taking on that duty for him. The depth of MNM and the Soniqs both showing in this matchup. I mean, Geo was on Monty alone in Dirt 1 round, didn't do anything.
Yeah.
That's a round where you can't get any kills.
Attackers have located a
Sludging
bomb.
away, the entire wood floor will be the playground of the soft destructors. There's a pocket EMP, intending to catch whatever denial or C4 they think might be there. A pre-placed C4 is a good shout. Small opening made in dirt, could a split push be coming for MNM? Geo seems to think so. Oh, Nello's drone gets spotted immediately. Those drones don't just blow up themselves, so MNM are now aware that one Soniqs player is inside a dirt tunnel. 30 seconds to go. You have to remove Geo from this position. You could isolate him, but instead they're going to take the engagement, Geo losing it, doing a bit of damage to Nave. Dirt tunnel in the clutches of MNM. 4 more kills for them to try and steal Soniqs' map away from Soniqs. Tyrant up blue, fire in front of him, he'll have to wait. Citizen doing some damage, Rex in now as well. Soniqs shutting them down at every single step of the way. And Grixer will find the final 2 to give us all 15 rounds. Could we see 45 rounds of this madness? I want it.
Rex in the late round is so good at holding down the bomb side. Grixer on the assist right now, establishing that crossover in Dirt Tunnel, holding down blue as well. MNM shut down at every single entry point they tried to create for themselves. 7-7 final round. My favorite round, that is, Parker, now. And it's not going to be basement, because both teams successfully defended it. That means we're going to go somewhere else. Gym is the option now for MNM. Mira is on the board and will be brought out as it has been in the past. Soniqs, they've had 2 different kinds of attacks on top floor so far. They have the Hibana option with the ranged Heartbreach that can counter the mirror windows, and they have without the Hibana. They've had mixed success so far attacking upstairs, but they need to find success when it matters the absolute most. Attacker repicks going out. Grixer on the islands of Flores, and Gunner looking for his favorite operator. Sophia onto the Twitch now instead. Probably seeing those mirror windows, the Goyo canisters, the ADSs, Twitch drones. Great choice, great value can be had in this round. Same Goyo fire canister on that external breach, so a rush, not possible, not gonna happen. And MNM, they're playing offensively here, extending into CCTV. The only downside, no deployable shield available to Tyrant that is playing top red.
Nafe's gonna have 2 drones shot his way. Just slowly picking apart Those little gadgets for Soniqs. Still 9 drones for Soniqs, so only one of them was actually successfully hunted down. A coordinated Soniqs team is a scary thing. I mean, ditto goes for MNM, but Soniqs are the team that's on attack. I think it's safe to say coordination on attack needs to be superior than it is to defense. Harder to pull off a successful attack.
Clubhouse so far, this is a Master Bedroom Gym. 60% in favor of defensive win rate. Played 25 times. Statistically, MNM, they're in a great position here. But as you mentioned, Parker, it all comes down to execution, coordination, and playing together. I just saw Cash see 91% win rate in 11 rounds played. Maybe it should have been played here. Too late for that.
I mean, it's one of those things where the stats, again, just don't give the full story, right? Like, it's played so infrequently, but it's only played by teams that really, really, really know it, and the opponents aren't usually prepared for it. There's a couple bomb sites that are like that where people turn around and say, well, it's not a very good bomb site. It's not very defender favored. But then it gets played 3 times and it gets won by the defense all 3 times. People will then, why don't we play more?
Yeah.
Because if it was actually played with the same frequency as every other bomb site, you would see how woefully suited it was for the defenders. Not saying that Cash CCTV is exactly that bomb site, but
no, you're right.
That's the theory behind it when people ask, why don't we tend to see these bomb sites more often?
Yeah. Also, going to that new bombs for the first time, I think that's unfamiliar territory for MNM as well in this particular matchup at least. So going Gym, they know it, they've been there before. They also know to expect somewhat from the side of Soniqs. Too Strong gets denied, doesn't find anything on the office hatch drop. Members below though. There are nades in pocket of Grixer. He could find some damage below.
Ooh, nice cross by Nave. Do they know he's down here?
I don't think so.
Flash is going out. Tyrant also down below. Nave giving him the call, but Tyrant's giving his position away. Grixer first to go down. Diffuser in the hands of Geo, but he's stopped. MNM's guns are hitting all their marks. It's Rexon now, lined up, staring down a black mirror to retrieve the diffuser. Playing inside a bathroom, good enough for one, but that's it for Soniqs. Inside a wait, it's MNM to lift themselves over SQ. MNM gets to go to their map, up 1-0.
That's gotta feel good. I mean, they're being rather quiet, silent comms, etc. But that victory right there means so much to them. They recognize winning Soniqs' map pick, that's step 1 into winning this 2-0. As next up, they have their own map choice of Skyscraper, where they are so confident as a team.
Well, an impressive performance by both squads and an exhilarating matchup. It was as back and forth as we'd expected. I hope we get the same on Skyscraper. We're not going to waste any time at all. We're going to toss to a break, and then we'll come back to see, is there a thrilling conclusion, or do we go deeper into MNM versus Soniqs?
I'm Nicholas Morton, but you know me as Pingu. I'm a 2-time Rainbow Six Siege World Champion and former top Rainbow Six Siege player in Pro League. Welcome to my Siege Ranked Bootcamp. We're talking 20 seconds left on the clock, you got the diffuser in hand, what do? Play the way that you're comfortable with, because you have confidence when you're in this position. That is when you're gonna be at your very best. Good luck.
We expected that. Oh, hello. We weren't supposed to be on camera, so that's nice to see you all.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. We were expecting MNM versus Soniqs to be everything that we witnessed in those 15 rounds. And boy, oh boy, I actually think it exceeded my expectations.
I mean, I expected a close game, I expected clutches, craziness, but in max OT first map, Rexen basically 1v5ing almost 2 rounds in a row. It was phenomenal to watch. And I'm here for it, and I wouldn't mind if we go OT again on Skyscraper.
I would like that very much. Skyscraper is almost always a thrilling matchup. It's going to play very differently from Clubhouse. It's going to be a more, I would argue, more brawl-heavy, kill-heavy style of map, especially on the entries. Clubhouse tends to be one of the more structured maps. Before we get there, though, let's talk about that Clubhouse matchup.
Oh, boy.
Rexen's clutch was incredible, an absolute thing of beauty. And I think that's probably what people are going to take away from that matchup.
Yeah.
But what you need to take away from the matchup was that MNM won 8-7. They continue winning maps. Soniqs have now dropped their very first map. It is entirely possible that MNM wins Skyscraper. We don't end up with the 3 maps that we want, and they end up going into the group flawless.
I mean, you're correct by saying that, and only one other team has ever taken MNM so far to overtime. That was Liquid, but again, in that matchup as well, MNM, they win out on top. So, Soniqs, they would need a clean victory on Skyscraper to take us to Villa, the 3rd map. And looking at Clubhouse, the one thing that I could see from Soniqs' side was on their attacking rounds in the first half, in their first opening 6 rounds, they had some moments of brilliance where they were playing together, structured, going for executes, but then they had those 3 rounds in the middle where they were just fishing alone, not really working together as a team and moving forward with multiple members on the same side with guns in the same direction. And those 3 rounds, that's where things really fell apart for Soniqs. So a small change in playstyle could get them very far, I believe, against MNM, because 1 versus 1 gunfights, that is not necessarily where you want to challenge these EU boys, because that's where they thrive themselves. For a bit of bans, I'm very curious to see if Soniqs going to ban out the Nurk and the Asami.
Make predictions.
I just did. Nurk and Asami.
Okay.
Okay. For MNM, I have no idea.
Oh, you can't do that.
Let's look at this. Let's go with something spicy in attack. That's spicy.
I think that's spicy. That's spicy.
Okay. And Valkyrie will be very boring here. That's the best I have.
I'm going to say Mira.
Okay. That's a good one as well. Okay.
Damn it.
And then I said...
You said Asami.
Asami, which was Soulless. The thing is, Soniqs, they always ban Soulless, but I feel like if there was a time to change it, it would be here. They don't change it. They're boring.
Cowards.
Yeah. That's gonna be why you lose this matchup, Soniqs. Mark my words.
See, so in my defense, my role as a play-by-play caster is to say thing that you see. Your role as a color commentator is to break down thing you think and you see.
Okay.
So, me getting something wrong, people are going to be like, no, that's fine.
That's okay.
But you getting something wrong, you're the expert.
Yeah, okay. I will take...
You're Nicholas Pengu Maritson.
You see the entire WhatsApp group chat.
2-time world champion.
Pasta. Yeah. So... Solace is the operator that Soniqs, they have banned every single map, I believe, so far throughout this entire tournament. So that it's not a surprise they're opting for this, but I was talking to Jack, also known as Fresh, the analyst that we have here at this location, about what would you ban if you're Soniqs and you had free choice. And him and I had like a back and forth where we're like, well, Jack was like, they play a really good Asami on their defensive side, MNM that is. They use it to establish multiple fallback locations, to make it harder to progress to the map, stall for time, etc. And it's actually Nello who often finds himself on that operator on this map. But also Soniqs are starting on defense. They can take these first 6 rounds, figure something out, and then see, well, when their side swap comes through, maybe they're so comfortable with the lead in defense, they don't care about that Asami being a problem, they care more about that Solace. That's a personal choice, of course, that they have made. And now we gotta see what the outcome is going to be. MNM are attacking. They got 1 Heartbreacher. Second, the Heartbreach canisters on uses on the Buck, a very versatile operator. Gone 6 secondary can openers, soft destruction gadget. Buck really is one of the most flexible operators in Rainbow Six Siege right now. And its rise play rate has slowly increased the last 6 months across all levels of play, but most notably in the Tier 1 level of play here in Pro League.
1 minute almost off of this clock. Still in that discovery phase, as we refer to it as. Tyrant could be the first one. Been a war of words at the moment by Dragon. A drone goes into a system. We'll have some information. Citizen expecting a peek on that terrace window. He's playing in drum. So these two teams slowly converging on one another. Rotero drone goes in, and yet every player on Soniqs that shot at it seemed to have missed it. Takes a deployable shield down, and now the protection inside a drum far lessened for Soniqs.
Yep, and that drum position is like the pain point for most attackers. And right now, I mean, you get the shield as MNM, but you're still gonna go past it on towards the geisha balcony instead. Perhaps trying to open up this hard wall. You got those Selma charges. Yellow ping on the ground, perhaps there's something on the wall. Well, there can't be. There's no mute abandoned kite in play. It's completely possible for them to open it up, but they're waiting for something. When all 5 members here, are they gonna try and bait something, then go through geisha really, really quickly? Oh, they're doing the trick? They are. So, they're rushing in.
Yeah, they're all trying to rush in. Down goes Rexon, but MNM falls. This rush in not working out. SQ seems to be holding strong, Nick. Let's push Nafe back.
Okay.
I think that's a reinforcement, but
Would have been a nice one tap if there wasn't the wall there.
Solotov in Geisha. Nafe not too far off. Knows that there's one on the stairs. But if he decides to engage, well, there's those pesky Capkin traps. Just ask MNM how Capkin works when they faced off against Rexon early on. First bit of aggression from MNM. Not going to work out. Soniqs looks so good on that first round. And they make it look easy on defense numero uno.
I'm gonna put a fucking frost mat there, dude.
I think they glitched the wall, by the way. The ace top and ace bottom, so it all broke at once and literally ran in.
I like how he pointed that out.
I don't know what they did.
I was going to talk about, yeah, so there is a trick with Ace. He said glitch, but it is a feature just like with Maverick. If you destroy the soft layer of the wall rather on a reinforced reinforced wall, then you can Selma charge the very top and the very bottom of the wall, and it basically breaks the entire wall at once, just like Maverick, where you make the wall soft essentially, but because you destroyed the soft wall already, it just completely falls apart immediately, and allows you to rush through a breach with an Ace or Hibana even, which normally you can only really do with a Thermite. And it caught Soniqs massively by surprise. Would have been a genius plan had it worked better than it did. But Soniqs, after that round discussion, they knew something fishy was up with that wall. It's a trick that I don't think I've really ever seen at a tier 1 level of play. I've certainly never seen it myself at a major/invitationals before. So that might be a first.
5 seconds left.
I'm all for it. Innovation's always fun.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
You know what operator we haven't casted? This goes back to that conversation we had at the start of map number 1. I think a Kali and a Fuse are the only 2 operators that haven't been played yet.
Yes.
I so desperately want Tachanka to be viable. Not overpowered viable, but like a good, solid Goyo mute or Goyo smoke alternative. That's what I want. We have not had the good fortune of seeing the Lord in our games. We had a Cav though. No interrogation. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Give me an interrogation with a live audience at SM.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Please don't do it in groups. Save it for later.
That's correct.
It's gonna be glorious. I would kind of like to see Kali being buffed a bit. Like, the bolt action mechanic is a bit slow. It just kind of feels sluggish and hard to win multiple gunfights at once, or even fight back 1-to-1 bullet. But I understand why, for a balancing perspective, why that might be a bad idea to make it faster. Just go tong, 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 and one-shotting people. It probably wouldn't be very fair, but it would certainly be fun. Takes you back to your young days of quick-scoping people in other games.
What game is that?
I'm not sure I can say. I'm not gonna try.
I think that's enough product placement for one day.
Oh, fair. Yeah. That was my bet, though.
These Rotero drones have been so effective for MNM. In the kills department, though, not so much. Molotov shrugging off a bunch of damage through that opening in the wall. He's missed an opportunity to refrag. MNM in the building. Consolidating their forces around Drum. Not all of them, of course. This will be a 2-pronged execute onto this office bomb site.
It's a very slow round for MNM, but they're just setting up their pieces right now, getting all those walls opened up. Because they have EMPs and can openers, they can work on both fronts right now and make progress in both areas. Diffuser, however, is on Nave on the Thatcher. Where Diffuser goes is also most likely where the Execute will follow along. And with Nave's rotation, it's safe to say that the balcony that Nello is at with Ying is a distraction or a place to create chaos, not the Execute itself.
There goes the Candelas, but there's a Warden on the board, so he'll be able to see through any smokes, any flashes, any disruption that comes from MNM. Pick rate of Warden is steadily increased as we've seen operators that carry smokes and flashes increasing in numbers. Ying's pick rate steadily increasing upwards. Smokes in the hands of the attackers also increasing. That just necessitates a response from the defense. Candela's going out, but doesn't seem to be all that effective. First casualty of the round. Tyrant, Nath goes as well. Nello the only kill for MNM up to this point, but Usis will join. Diffuser needs to be planted. Who has it? Neither of them. So kills seems to be on the menu. Citizen down but not secured. Running out of time to find the last two players of Soniqs. They're not going to get it done from MNM's side. SQ 2-0.
They open the ninja wall. Gio, I have to move there. Like the terrace wall.
Got guys.
City, I'm gonna reverse the hatch here. Bring this on me, bring everything.
A napkin.
I think he has a nosebleed.
Yeah.
I would imagine he has a nosebleed.
I'm putting a beacon inside initial drum.
It's pretty fun interaction because they're talking about Ben's apologizing for why he wasn't covering the position a certain angle. He says it's okay, whatever. Gio goes, let's take this bomb side, take these operators. He goes, kind of napkin. It's like, that's not really related to the conversation at all, but it's, you know, he dropped it in there. And of course, you may have a napkin. Of course you may. Looking for Soniqs though, I will say this was MNM's map pick. MNM is a fantastic team on defense. They have the, before this match started at least, their highest percentage win rate on the defensive side across all their games so far, whereas Soniqs have the highest attacking win rate so far. So really are two of the top teams and in the same group. Question now comes, MNM, you might be strong in defense, but you need something to be happening on your attacking rounds. Now, the first two rounds, they were relatively close. The first one, not as much as the second. Both were arguably a execute rush style round. And this time, it could be the same or it could be different. Amaru kind of speaks to something fast and cheeky, but the rest of the lineup, not really any follow-up. No Lion, no Dokkaebi, no global gadgets. It's pretty constructed gameplay here, especially with that Nomad in mind. That speaks to taking map control, locking down those flanks, the staircases, etc. to the best of your ability, then working through the map in orderly fashion. Now, there is no sledge on the board for them, so vertically speaking, by taking the top floor in control, they might not be able to do as much damage from, you know, downstairs toward the bomb site as they would like. Maybe Soniqs made that easy for them by opening the floor themselves. Usis might be here for a while because he's waiting for something. And nothing's near happening as of yet.
I feel like there's two great times for you to use this Amaru gadget, the Gara hook, to get in. Number one, right off the rip, when you know that they're still doing a late setup, overwhelm them, have the rest of the team follow suit, or at least get an early pick and then get out. Second, right before the execute amidst the chaos. I don't think Usis actually used it, though. He'll take an engagement against the Azami.
Oh, he's dead.
He's absolutely dead. There was so little of him left that a single piece of that buckshot would have killed him. Soniqs an opening pick, yet again.
I mean, it looked really good. He got in, but the issue is he gained nothing from it. And again, no follow-up from him whatsoever. It was like an off-pace play that should not have been read by Soniqs, but it definitely was. Two members in the flank, one in the front. They shut him down immediately.
Toxic canister going out. I don't know if Grixer was taking some damage from that, but his HP was just slowly going down. He could have been in the midst of it and just end up being friendly fire. MNM has been reduced to rubble. A 2v5. 1 minute to go. Wary of the frost mats that may or may not exist. Tyrant is very close to one, and nervous around that. The Azami of Grixer on the flank, though. Great maneuverability and an easy kill. It's all up to Nath. No, not at all. Grixer gets the last two. Soniqs, a flawless round on top of the two they've already won. Timeout for MNM called.
Gunner, don't call on that. Gunner last. Oh.
Gunner is literally insane.
No, like,
I enjoy watching him so much.
And Gio is just so calm in comparison. Like, Gio looks like he's about to fall asleep almost. Gunner, the exact...
Do you not remember when he used to play under the moniker Sleepy Gio?
Oh, I mean, he's had a couple of names, but yeah.
I remember he got in trouble with the previous TO during Pro League.
They literally, I can make them jump in geisha, but we're doing some fucking, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. They're literally the shitty fucking defense.
We can also go directly and break Flores. Just get this black shield. Just be on the same page.
I would do the same. They have the worst defense house in bunch of left. Literally stinks.
You want to try black one?
No, the
defense was so shit.
Yeah, I think as well. The defense was so shit, but we need to push at the same time if we are jumping in Geisha. But we also, what's happening in Geisha? Are we just being held there or not?
No, I just against the guy every time. I'm just sat there.
So despite Soniqs being up 3-0, MNM, they deem that their defense are quote-unquote not very good. So MNM think it's up to themselves as to why they're losing these rounds, which arguably they wouldn't be wrong about that. But it's always interesting to hear just how poorly a setup is from the opponent, despite them losing to it 3 times in a row on various bomb sites. Now, MNM, they are a great Skyscraper team. They would know what a good setup looks like, I'm sure, but they need to show up in these rounds because right now on the board of you know, fragging potential, there are 3 members sitting on 0 kills, and it's not the support players. It's Tyrant, okay, Navy is a support player, and Solotov. Solotov, I don't think has ever had this quiet of a start so far in my 23, and frankly, MNM as a team, I don't think they've ever really had it been down this bad 0-3 with not much to show for.
Hello, A-Stream.
Hello.
I'm Parker Intero Mackay, and you might know him as Nicholas Pengu Moritzen.
Yep.
Welcome aboard. No spoilers, but that very first match is over, so you will all come on board with us as we watch Soniqs versus MNM, the first matchup that we have seen between these top 2 teams. It started off on Clubhouse. MNM took the first half 4-2, it was relatively back and forth. Then Soniqs went streaking, caught up to them, and it was just a coin toss every round from that point onward. Skyscraper is actually MNM's map, but Soniqs are the team that looks significantly better. And that should be enough of a recap for you, as the score does most of the talking. First pick goes to MNM. That's a nice start. They've taken the smoke out as well. They'll quiet Gunner down, put him in a timeout, and remove those toxic canisters. And they'll get Geo for added measure. The entry for MNM far more formidable. And the timeout that was just taken might be the reason for that.
This is quite literally the best opening round MNM has had so far in Skyscraper, and it's the only real lead or advantage they've had as well. And they have so much time to work with. 1 minute 40 seconds left. Soniqs, you can expect them to get quite aggressive now to try and even back these numbers. The bomb set itself, of course, is defendable, but not if you're going to be rushed down by all 5 members at a single moment's notice. Grixer and Rexen, they are fishing for a single kill apiece here. MNM, not going to give it to them. Rotating on the outside balcony towards that Geisha area, but Grixer, he finds Nave, who stayed behind alone.
7-0 for Grixer, just quietly racking up these kills. Nave yet to get on the board. Nave had a sluggish start. Oh, okay.
So the nade went out, didn't catch the bandit charge, however, so the cellmate got caught as well.
Down goes Solotov to Citizen. Soniqs roam game seemingly recovering from that early entry that was so strong for MNM. MNM will continue onwards. 5 drones available, but both of them are in the hands of Nello. The rest likely just flank drones. That means that there will be no active intel from Tyrant or Usus. They will have to play off of Nello's calls. Nello also has access to the fuser, so he's going to be droning, getting off, and trying to plant. Unless the call is made, let's go for kills.
Yeah, they can't breach Gates wall, so they have to just frag it out now, walk down a hallway and just win their 1v1s.
I suppose the Rotero drones do function as intel gathering devices as well, though the target for those will likely be gadgetry from Soniqs. They'll poke a hole in the back of Gold into T. Grixer will watch that one as it gets blown wide open. Rexen down for the count. Grixer yet another kill, 8 to his name. No deaths, but that'll be the end of the streak as MNM finally win a round, sweeping through the last 3 players. Intel or no intel, they make it work.
A good read there by Buck, especially.
I can just nade it. I can just nade it.
Hold up, wall soft, he's swinging me gay.
Just let me nade it. Just let me nade it. Just let me nade it next time.
I did say I can do it.
Buck open up that soft wall, exposing Jaeger's position. Sure, Buck got shut down, but the trade was there. A second member of MNM, they find him instead. And it opens up the entry possibility for them to get that diffuser into a safe location. Didn't matter, they found the kill instead. No objective play needed, but all their options were left wide open. Soniqs, they're gonna go back to that T-bomb side. Double reinforcing off the party room or karaoke room, whichever one you wanna call it. Setting up rotations towards the geisha to allow for mobility on the defense. And MNM, whenever you hear them speak, they're very confident in their attacks, even though the scoreline might not say it. There's few things they're going to be discussing. How to clear out certain positions or certain pieces of utility. For example, let me just nade that. Don't worry about the EMPs, etc. Making sure they can spend them elsewhere. Knave with an interesting attacker repick onto the Monty could signify a backstairs balcony push instead. That's normally what this Monty would signify. Note there's no smoke in it, however. Secondary EMPs being chosen instead, so it will still be a breach-oriented attack. So Geisha Balcony might be the first objective.
I feel like there's always a joke whenever we see an O and something player run onto a Monty. Or a 1 and something player. If you are not able to hit your shots, you get cycled through to a different role, and sometimes you get the shield.
It makes sense. I mean, if there is a player to put in a passive, quote-unquote passive operator, you might as well do to the least harmful one.
I mean, we focused a lot on Nafe, but Solotov is no better.
No.
0-4 when he is the main tip of that proverbial spear. Solotov going 0-4 is infinitely worse than Nafe going 0-4 because Solotov's main role is to get in and get uncontested kills. And like that missed nade. That's a pretty routine nade to throw. And yet Solotov botches that. So I imagine they're a bit rattled with the results of the first 4 rounds. MNM looking triumphant on that 15-round Clubhouse. I think they expected a very different start on Skyscraper, and it might be getting to them.
I think you're right. I mean, it's all understandable rather that there is frustrations. MNM also, not a very emotional team, but definitely has emotions to them. Remember, there's still young players besides Nello. So, settle the score, settle the boys down, get comfortable. It's going to be a long matchup, most likely.
Attackers have located a bomb.
The Monty of Knave is looking towards that back staircase. What's also below further enhances that idea. Gunner is on the stairs, though. Has to get cleared out first. He'll buy some time with those toxic babes.
Gunner was the first to die in the previous round, so we didn't get to see the impact that the smokes could make. He'll be crucial at slowing the Montaigne down. Now, with the advance of a Montaigne through that back stairs doorway that you saw, the smokes are only going to tick away at, in total, all 3, just a little bit. Not enough to usually secure. There goes Gunner, though, by the way. The first to die again because Gio's been downed but not finished off on Soniqs. Usus means no nades remaining for the team. Just a Claymore and 1 pocket EMP in terms of the secondary gadget.
Oh my god.
There goes an impact nade to do some damage to the Monty of Knave. SQ have to maintain a numbers advantage if they want to deal with the shield. The moment that they go down, the moment that they start to trail, that's when things go from bad to worse. They might have an opportunity now as Knave takes a ton of damage mid-diffuser plant. Tyrant will try to cut off Soniqs, and he starts with a kill onto the Azami. Rexim goes down to Solotov, who gets onto the board. Knave at the halfway mark of the diffuser, and Citizen can't shut him down. The timeout nets them the first round, and now a second, 2. MNM look far more composed than the first 3, and they have a chance to tie this game as we go into the final round of the first half.
I was very worried for Knave in that scenario with the Monty.
Don't put me on fucking flank cams, you can nade these. Get Thatcher, they play Cade. Easiest fucking round of all time, by the way.
I'll go on the flank, Jones, but I won't be able to be first and go.
Honestly, just don't. I think we just risk it. Listen, we should just be ready to.
No, last time, Nate, they barricaded it. They fucking barricaded it.
I mean, I'm trying to simplify their attacks here, making it sound so easy. Just do this, just use the MP. And honestly, with how troublesome the first 3 rounds were, I think it's the exact right approach mentally to say, it is this easy, just do this. Monty, Nave, a bit worrisome last round, had to walk through the hallway back towards the bomb site itself that thankfully was clear, trying to find the door to get on in and find a safe position to plant in. The thing is, the first choice wasn't safe at all. Nave was shut down to just 1 HP, but MNM, they played actively off of that. They aggressed forward and they found 3 kills in the midst of that chaos of him trying to plant and successfully got the round. There were so few seconds left, however. If Nave had fought it earlier in the round, no one could necessarily plant easily afterwards, as the only member nearby was Thatcher on the window rappel, and going in that window is not always ideal due to that rappel animation and sound cue it gives off. Soniqs, for them, things are slowly falling apart, but it is close round, so it's not too concerning. They're gonna go office. Halfway across the map, they got the mirror for that exterior balcony. Get a bit of information. Can shut down any members who approaches the balcony.
Oh, come on!
Saltov? Now the question is, did anybody drone it? If so, who did that?
The drone just showed up a little bit late.
Yeah, I think they saw the door was barricaded, so that they didn't drone the room itself. But it is Skyscraper. We know that Soniqs, they like their frost in their cap cannon. It's just a good habit to make for yourself to check if the outside default cams are shot. Even if you assume they are, check it. Every single time you roll the window, always check for a frost trap, just in case. It happens though. Solotov, he still has grenades in pocket. Might just play a bit more back end this round. Use those Gemini clones more. Try and get his utility spent, and then seek a gunfight at the very last moment in the round, because with 20 HP, it's unlikely you're gonna win a 1v1 against the members of Soniqs.
Not been overlooked that Rotero drones can also gain you information the same as a regular drone. In that sense, you know, it's timed and you can't leave it in a spot, so they're not good for flank drones. And obviously, the primary focus of a Rotero drone is destruction. That's its goal, is to get rid of bandit batteries, meat jammers, etc. Yada yada yada. But Flores, in the hands of Tyrant, he's the ability to scout short distances 6 times. He's already done it once.
Reloading. Looking for more.
He knows that there's somebody inside of Dragon. This is where the pinch could come in.
Huh.
Grixer's in trouble, about to lose his Black Mirror, so instead, Soniqs will not fall back and rest on their laurels. They're going to take the engagement. They're going to do it head on. Rexon, the lone defender at the moment, inside of Lounge, playing by the bar. He can see all the way through Terrace towards Drum. Nafe, look down, make sure there's not a frost mat there.
It would suck if it struck twice in one round. I mean, they certainly don't need that right now. With 30 seconds left, they gotta strike soon. But Citizen aggresses first.
And he walks right in. It's Rexon to get the first kill. Citizen follows up. A bounce back from Sonic appears to be happening as MNM are having some difficulties getting in the building. When they get in, they just die. Down goes Grixer. That's the first player from Soniqs to fall. Rexon joins him. Geo on the board. Nello next to go. It's Nafe in a 1v3. He's got a single kill this half. 4 seconds to add to the tally. And he's just not gonna get it done. Cannot secure, gets the down. Soniqs, after a 2-round scare, will take the first half 4-2.
I think that's the expected outcome for Soniqs, honestly, getting those 4 rounds, 3 at least. Oh, he checked it. He was looking down.
He did, he shot it.
Yeah.
But he shot it just once.
Yeah. Might have just been a miscalculation. It seemed that he knew the exact whereabouts of the mat. Also explains his confusion. He looked to his right towards his teammates, so yeah, unfortunate. Of course, not round defining. It's not why MNM lost the round, but it always sucks when it happens. MNM's defenses have to be sharp. The Asami, the keep barriers, uses on this particular operator. That's where my eyes are going to be in this round. How they use that piece of utility. It's their bread and butter in most of the rounds they played Skyscraper in the past. At this event so far, against Wolves, Liquids, and Dire Wolves, they have not shown Skyscraper. So, it will be domestic play that Sonic will have to go back and look upon to get this kind of information in prep for this matchup.
10 seconds to insertion.
First half in the books. In terms of these opening picks, we'll call that last round a trade because of when the action happened.
Yeah.
It was very quick. Oh, I guess technically Soniqs actually got the first two kills.
They ran and got the 2 kills, then it got crazy.
Then it got crazy. So in terms of opening kills, MNM just one time getting that opening pick. I found that Soniqs got most of them. Would you agree?
I would certainly agree.
There was a trade one time as well. In terms of objective play, not really there. Not good. Not good enough for MNM. Their attacks looked quite lackluster, and they were won mostly off of the killing aspect.
Which, with how front forward Soniqs were playing, I think is all right. You know, they are running into their guns, taking those fights, and I mean, they tried to plant 2 other times, but were either unsuccessful because they won the round or because they lost the round trying to get it down. Key barriers going out. It's going to be a Geisha hold. Remember, there are 3 in pocket of uses, so these 3 key barriers being saved for something else later in the round. Geo, not on the Monty, but a different kind of shield operator of Ossa with those Talon shields. Can do the same job. Grant you security inside the hallway once you get inside the building, and also establish a plant later on if that's your desired goal. Soniqs, they essentially have Geisha control, but no presence as of yet. Uses his, you know, he keeps patching up that breach and buying some time. Oh, the door's barricaded.
Yeah, that's rough. He can't get out. Rexon the first kill on the Tyrant, but he didn't do it all by his lonesome. Multiple members of Soniqs able to assist in that one. Beautiful thing about Ossa versus an operator like Mira. When you put down Mira's Black Mirror, it gives you tons of vantage points. But you can't pick it back up. Ossa's Talon shields, you can keep moving. And it allows you to essentially reset that beachhead, as we call it, as you get closer to the bomb site. Geo's used both of those Talon shields outside. I imagine they will likely move when the execute does come in. I mean, he's positioned well.
Yeah.
There's one of the shields picked up. I think he has both of them at this point. Down goes Gunner. Uses the first kill for the defenders in this first half. Nello's lined up for yet another, and he'll see the Ossa, but can't do any damage to hers. She's got the shield in front.
Also, no spare reinforcements for MNM. They can't patch that hole, but Nave, he can run out the door and do some damage.
Just chunking away at the HP of Geo. Rexon's taking some damage too, as is Uzis and Nave. This is when a Finka or a Thunderbird gets real handy because you can patch yourself back up. Uzis, another kill for MNM. Citizen falters, then ultimately falls off. Grixer's in the bomb site waiting for somebody to move. He knows there's one in gold, and he has to get out of there as the smoke begins to choke him. The gas coming in. 2v2 with Grixer to watch over. Geo's diffuser goes down, but they're low on HP. They know the marks. There goes the diffuser. Geo's been dropped. Grixer gets out. He knows his only hope is to get the plant down, and Solotov has to run up the back stairs to get there. Should do it in time. Grixer denies him the kill. I killed Geisha guy.
Wait, did they push through my smoke, mate? Josh, what we doing? Did they push through your smoke, mate? Behind me, I was in gold.
Yeah. I'm a bit confused as to what happened there. Nello's inside of gold said that they pushed the smoke. Well, Grixer, I believe, had snuck into the bomb site on that cabinet, was just waiting for something to happen. When the Toxic Babe got popped, well, that was his time to move. Sprinted towards gold, killed Nello in the corner, and that's when Geo could make his way through that open breach and get into the bomb site to safely deliver the diffuser. Then what happened was that Mute went downstairs with a C4, but there must have been a drone of some sort from Soniqs, because the moment that C4 got ripped, they both left the gold area, which would have been really bad, except the last member from MNM on the bomb site got the injure onto one member, and that was a diffuser carry as well, and that bought enough time for MNM to run back upstairs while the diffuser was going down the 7-second timer to secure the round for them. An extremely close round at that, but it's MNM who hold on to that line. They said, that's where we draw it. We're not going to allow to push past this point. We're going to fight for our lives. It was the right decision to make, and it paid off for them. That's the line you see right here where Nelo put down that Black Mirror window shield. In a similar fashion, they are drawing another point in the map that they care the utmost about. That's where the Kiba barriers will also follow along. So Kiba and Mira, the two most important operators in terms of utility, that will signify where MNM they are gonna hold on strong and where they'll just be holding with guns.
Single panel at the top of the wall, or top of the stairs, taken out. Uzis was watching it intently. Just because it gets breached doesn't mean somebody is there. Oh! Pre-fire and a read through the wall from Tyrant cost Citizen over half of his life. Now it's Tyrant's time to lose half of his HP. They're going to throw drones at him and pressure him from the window as well inside a closet. Tyrant fighting for his life in this position.
Yeah. There's Tyrant last and that was stuck from that door that was barricaded, so he might have to fight for it, but he can't even see, so he can't fight.
Oh! He pulls it off, Nick! Blind as a bat, but a shotgun still hits its mark at close range. Nath would come in for the assist, but Citizen seals the deal. Not a trade, technically, but both teams lose one, and Tyrant is still in this spot, still close enough to Citizen to do some damage.
Yeah, another drone has to go out because they lost the previous one, and Tyrant, he got spotted, has a C4. Might get tossed out, yeah, but it does no damage. Citizen might not want to chase this one because Tyrant, staying alive for as long as he has, is successful on the roam. I think he's stuck, can't quite get out. Yeah, he is stuck down here.
We call this purgatory.
They've left him, however. He has no C4, so he's not a threat to the bombs anymore. Soniqs knows this.
You're just holding at that point, right? You're holding the attention of somebody from Soniqs, and I mean, when you look at this Soniqs lineup, on a different team, maybe keeping Citizen busy and not involved in the execute would have been damning for that squad.
Yeah.
No shade.
No shade, no shade.
But Soniqs still have Rexon and Grixer online. Grixer's 10 kills. Citizen has not been the big bad threat of this matchup. He always is when he's on the board, but there's other weapons and other tools that Sonic have at their disposal. Down goes Rexon, though, and that was the real Citizen, not a clone. Very quickly, Soniqs getting jumped upon by this MNM team. Geo also finds himself on the wrong side of a player from MNM. Solotov attempting to stop Grixer's rampage, but can't do it. 10 other people have found themselves in really rough shape, and a 12th is there as well. Grixer with a dozen kills. They know where he's coming from, though, and he'll be pressured from Bar. Engaging with the Mira. Has to pick the right side, but they've got a crossfire. And MNM have now tied the game.
I know, but Gunnar, right there, just let us run. Guys, let me the problem is like, it's not the ideas that are coming out with, it's that we're not choosing a plan and executing it. Like, we've got 3 different people saying, oh, let's do this, guy downstairs, let's push this, let's do this. We all say, okay, let's do this idea, and we all agree on it, and we go together. Because we're doing it all like singles, we're trying to solo backstab while we're doing other stuff at the same time. But let's work as a team. If you want a backstab, let's plan around the backstab. Let's help Geo get in that position.
Make sure we have patience too on the drowns, guys. Like,
everybody just needs to take a deep breath. Like Geo was saying, we need to get scrappy with the attacks. We're good at getting the initial pick, and then we freeze and we stop. If we die, Gunnar, you need to calm down with the comms that you were giving. You were giving people stuff. So everybody just.
That's okay, guys. Come on, let's go.
When we get the entry push off,
come on,
stop it, just go, push through.
Let's fucking go. Come on.
Gunnar, little speech. Come on, we can move up.
I have to say, I'm extremely impressed with how much respect Soniqs gave Citizen when he was speaking up. That's the new member of the squad. I mean, sure, he has a record over in Europe, internationally as well as an individual player, but that's your new guy giving all the other members saying, guys, this is the problem that I'm seeing. He listened very carefully to that feedback.
When Goddess particularly singled out Gunnar, though, there was a look of frustration on his face.
There was.
And he did the, oh, come on, really?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's to be there. Gunnar is still a younger player.
Yeah.
He's still getting the ropes of playing at a top level. Nowhere near the same level of experience as the rest of the Sonic squad, especially somebody like Geo.
Oh, you're right. And
you have a lot to learn, and I honestly think you kind of got to put that ego aside. Whether you think that you're crowding comms or not, if your coach says, please dial it back, I mean, unless you think the coach is bad and you need a coaching change, you got to listen to it. That's the whole purpose of having the coach.
Even if you think that, you have no say in the end, right? The coaches say it's final. That's for at least for most teams I've ever been a part of.
Whoa!
Okay.
You were coached by Shaz.
Okay, let me retract.
There are a lot of teams.
Fabian's where this final.
Okay. There were a lot of teams where the coach is an afterthought. Check.
Yeah, that is the case for sure. Yeah, no, certainly.
I do not think Goddess is one of those, and I'm glad that the team reacted positively to her.
Yeah.
And I like that she held them accountable as well.
That's important.
Well, she's correct about these opening picks, and well, they might not get it here if Solotov gets the read on this rappel correctly.
My God.
Oh, there's a couple of them. They know he's there. He'll engage, and he loses it. Never mind. Sonic's the opening pick yet again.
That is a little bit of an over-eager attempt, I feel like. I mean, when you get a bit of damage onto the first member in the repel, I think it's time to hit your running shoes and just get out of there.
Soniqs, just to give credibility to what God has said, Soniqs have either got the first pick or have been involved in a trade of the first pick in all but one round so far.
Yeah.
So you consistently have an advantage.
That's actually very accurate. You're absolutely correct.
It is not translated, though. Not the way you'd hope. And time again, teams might get that first pick. Statistically, it hovers somewhere between 70 to 80% of all teams that get the first pick will then go on to win the round. Very clearly not the case in this matchup. If Soniqs can figure that out, slow down through the mid-round, but more importantly, the best part of this for MNM has been the tail end of the round, then Soniqs can start to win. But right now, they get the first pick, yeah. And then they trade immediately. So again, Soniqs maintain this advantage, but it's gone to Nello from below.
It was a beautiful mini execute from the side of Soniqs. His hammer and the follow-up of the trade is exactly what they need to break that barrier. But MNM, they're still holding their ground up above this barbecue bomb site. And Soniqs, because of that vertical kill from Nello, have kind of lost the footing they had just gained. Citizen is still here, has a drone for himself. That's going to slow things down even further. And this next upcoming gunfight between Citizen and Tyrant could define how much control Soniqs will have.
This is where things will slow down just a little bit. 6 active drones. 4 Soniqs, none in the pockets, all on the field. Only 4 being held by current players, so 2 of those might be flank drones, or they might be completely inconsequential for where this action comes from. Grixer using the soft wall to his advantage. Down goes Nello. He knows that there's still control from above. Diffuser's in the hands of Geo. He needs to walk it in, especially now that Nafe is the last man for MNM, and the only thing standing between Soniqs winning this round. Geo is quite a ways away. Hops in, there's a frost mat, and there'll be 2 sets of eyes for Soniqs watching him. Oh no, Nafe knows there's one from above, but he's playing this not the way he wants. Nafe, there's 3 targets and you haven't found a single one. You do. Oh, you do see him, but not good enough. If Nafe hadn't just committed to either of those targets, the round likely would have been for MNM. And that's something upon rewatch that MNM are going to kick themselves for.
That is probably the longest ring around the rosy that I've ever seen that was not intentional from either side. Oh. Citizen asked, Luke, did you like that? He said, yeah, nice play. Wonderful. Bit of nice chatter. It's been pretty quiet since the first rounds from Clubhouse. Yep. So ring out the rosy, gets Soniqs into the right position. MNM, they got caught with the pants down on the bomb site in the wrong location. Grixer found himself in again. So Soniqs, again, they kind of built this early pick, which was the problem. They don't convert it into a round victory. But then they linger around looking for openings. Geo, Grixer, and Citizen, all 3 were just looking where they can get in on the map unseen.
10 seconds to go.
They all got somewhere. They got a little bit of value each, which really adds up in the grand scheme of
5
things.
seconds to go.
Bomb site control became theirs. They knew last member was above. They sent 1 soldier up to distract. It worked amazingly for them. Soniqs are back in the lead with a single round. MNM, they got bombs at options. They went upstairs. That tertiary bomb site not gonna get played unless it absolutely has to. You got a 4th site as well if you want to. That master bedroom bomb site that we very rarely see. It is statistically not doing too hot either.
Very crucial round for MNM. Timeout worked to settle both of these teams down. After MNM's timeout, they won 4 of the next 5 rounds. So far, Soniqs are perfect after theirs. And this does tend to happen. I find that more often than not, we see a team call a timeout, and then we just see them start winning.
Yeah, I mean, coach input is valuable, of course. Having a full minute of breathing room, for that matter, also goes a long way. And, you know, when Soniqs took their timeout, it was for a very applicable reason. Play together, stop having 4 different ideas and suggestions. Gunner, calm the comms down a bit. If you apply those things the following round, you should start seeing improvements and perhaps even instantaneous success. Nave below does no damage, and Nave finding himself in the same spot Gunnar was earlier on that staircase. It's a tough place to be in. Those toxic babes have to be used sparingly. You only got 3 of them.
Gio's taken about, what, 25% of his HP removed. He's taken 25% damage. Usus being softened up as Solotov had been too. Both these players taking their lumps. Still upright. These are the 2 players that you rely on to get the lion's share of your kills. Down goes Gunnar. Was he coming to the rescue of Gio or not? Now it's Solotov's turn down below, engaging with Citizen. Both teams could potentially lose one. Nave lit up. There's the smoke. They're trying to get through the Monte, and MNM doing it, though. I don't know exactly how they accomplish that, but MNM answer back Soniqs round with a flawless one of their own. And we're going to need all 12 rounds again, Nick.
That's beautiful team play. So essentially, one member of MNM, they were punching the shield, which kind of wiggles the animation. Other member with the shotgun just tucked all the way in the corner, and then like the right-hand thigh of or right leg thigh of Monty exposed itself. Shotgun got the injure. It's nice team coordination. You can't do that against Monty 1v1 because there's not enough time between you meleeing the Monty and the animation for you to whip out your weapon and also shoot. Same with like a clash, the animation as long as that works. So Monty needs 2 people to work together in union to get that scenario to occur. A very quick round at that, and Gio on this Monty has not had the most fun, I have to say, on Clubhouse. He was alone inside the dirt against 2 members, got C4'd and impacted and killed. Now on now on Skyscraper rather, he had a teammate behind him. Teammate died first, that happens. Then Gio's left alone. No one else is there to support. He gets 2v1'd by a shotgun and a Jaeger. And that Jaeger meleeing the shield, well, that made all the difference. It's unfortunate. Extension again from MNM, similarly as the last time. These mute jammers crucial to deny both the walls and the drone information from Soniqs. No Twitch drones to deal with them, but there is stature on the board. Those EMPs can make the difference in that scenario as well. But they think elsewhere, or otherwise off it. They're gonna go to the other side of the map, hit up the bomb site directly on the breach and the windows.
Damage done to Nello is the first little bit of action that we start to see here as things are going to heat up really quick. I want overtime. Was it 43 of a 45 possible rounds that we saw yesterday in the DZ match? Is that correct?
Yeah, it was,
Heroic was 43 of 45.
Yeah, it was very close, something like that.
I want all 45. Give them to me. Crunch the numbers and send them to me. I want all 45 by Friday. Oh wait, today is Friday.
Today is Friday. Didn't you know, the Berlin Major Grand Finals, we almost got like the maximum amount of TVs map as well, yeah.
Tyrant takes down Gio, that's the ace. That is no more. Diffuser's been dropped as well. Gunnar will look for the recovery down below, toying with the doorway, and a relatively easy kill on the Tyrant.
It's pretty free indeed. Tyrant below with the C4 is removed from play.
It's actually my favorite price. Free 99.
Free
Now, just to be specific, do you consider that a trade, or do you consider that an opening pick by MNM?
Yeah, that's a great question, honestly. I mean, I would say opening pick from MNM, traded back by Soniqs and elsewhere in the map.
Ah, yes, very good. What do you think, chat? Was that an opening pick, or was that a trade? Either way.
It's a good question.
Gunnar wants that Selma to open up. A nice nade, but oh, it just misses. Usus. But the bullets from Citizen down. This is why they imported Big Ben all the way from Great Britain. Gunnar needs to be retrieved, but there's that powerful position of Nello sitting on the black mirror. The buck of Gunnar will continue to crawl away. Just under a minute to go for Soniqs to get Gunnar back up or attempt this in a 2v3. No way.
Oh.
How does he not get that kill? He didn't even do half the damage either.
Hit the railing. Gotta hate the railing. Or the beams, rather, should I say. Rexon trying to cross this rescue mission, gets taken down to 1 single HP in return, though. Is that worth it? Oh, I'm not sure.
No, I don't know. I mean, they've got Gunnar back up, and we've seen players do well with just a sliver of their health intact. A utility dump from Gunnar will at least get one of the magnets over by Terrace. Down goes Citizen. Gunnar in, checks the wrong way, and MNM seal the deal on that round. Moving to match point, series point.
Fucking time on that, man.
Was that back injured, Miller? Was that back injured?
That door is just
Did that back go injured? I hit him like 3 times with fucking DMR.
I hit him 3 times with DMR. He did not get injured. He's not happy with that.
I mean, would you?
We've seen the DMR's damage. I agree. 3 bullets, that should be an injure. But then there, you know, did he actually hit all 3 bullets, right? You never know. I'm sure Citizen was like, that guy should be injured too, through the floor, but sometimes you're off by just a pixel. We've all been there. Puzzle final round for MNM. Got that match point, so now in front of them. The issue is, tertiary bomb site. It didn't look all that good last time. So they can change it around. It's the early loss of Tyrant that kind of snowballed things out of control. He was on the roam instead of office. Soniqs just quickly made work of the map from that point onward. They like fishing for these early kills and have gotten them so many times in the past. As Gade said during the tactical timeout, keep doing that part, and then work together afterwards.
5 seconds
Can't keep surrendering these openings and these advantages that we built for ourselves.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
MNM will, if they prevail on this round, be the first place seed confirmed as far as I am aware. And obviously the Dire Wolves Liquid matchup does not have first place implications. There goes the Selma charge onto the Geisha wall. Soniqs have already lost a small portion of their artillery. God, this MNM Gaming story really is something.
For the
they entered as what? Like they were like the 13th or 14th seed or something along those lines?
Yeah, they certainly weren't the top.
No, I mean in a group with Team Liquid as well.
Yep.
You're thinking to yourself, all right, maybe we'll see something happen.
But probably not.
Team Liquid have also just not looked like themselves. This has been a very disappointing event for Team Liquid so far. MNM have looked very good. Most of their maps haven't even gone into overtime. That's the thing. They are perfect on maps so far.
Yeah.
Soniqs were as well. They dropped their first map, and it was their map to MNM on Clubhouse. This was the same scenario that we were in on Clubhouse, by the way. It was a 6-5 for MNM, and then there was that incredible moment to win the to win their 6th and final round on the second half and send us into overtime. MNM did end up getting ahead in OT, but Soniqs still made it competitive. And Soniqs on attack, and this is where things might get a little bit tricky.
Yep.
They've only won a single round on attack.
Oh,
and that's not the start that you want. Gunner walks right in, and despite the fact that there's an E1D, despite the logic bomb, they cannot flush. Use this in this hall of mirrors inside of Drum. He's got all of the Prismas around him, and he claims another kill onto Geo. In the hunt is Grixer. Down goes Nello. Now it's Rexon from below trying to clear out. Rexon's in the bomb site, but he doesn't look above. Solotov ends his rampage. Citizen and Grixer, the 2 top players, need to make some noise, and they'll start. Grixer shutting down Nafe. He also sees the bomb site in front of him, but Grixer doesn't hold on to that diffuser. It's been dropped. 40 seconds to retrieve it, but now it's just Grixer to die to Tyrant. Undefeated.
You lot fucking on.
MNM escape stage 1. Perfect.
Fuck yeah.
With no days off, right? Playing every single day.
Come here.
What a story it's been for Nello of all people.
Yes.
Whether you're the guy and gal, whether you care about underdogs, whether you care about the domination of the best teams. Back in the day, did you cheer for the team that always won? Do you cheer for the team that never won, but you want to see them do well? Nello won a Pro League Finals many, many moons ago in Japan, and since then, he's gone around EUL, he's gone around on and off teams, but now he's got a young core around him. And there was always hope that MNM would reach their potential. There's still a lot of this event left to play.
Yeah.
We have a week until the playoffs begin at Place Belle in Laval. There's a whole other stage. MNM could still implode, but right now, they're world beaters. This looks like one of the best teams at the event, and they will escape stage 1 without a single loss. That is impressive as they come. Soniqs have one more match. They can still make it out. They've already qualified for stage 2. and they were still good today.
Yeah.
But they seemed to run into one of the best teams here. That's it for our very first matchup. It was exactly what we'd hoped for, maybe a little bit less than we'd hoped for, but was still quite good. We're going to throw to a quick break, and then we'll come back as we still have 3 more matches to razzle and dazzle you with. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
I'm Nicholas Morton, but you know me as Pingu. I'm a 2-time Rainbow Six Siege World Champion and former top Rainbow Six Siege player in Pro League. Welcome to my Siege Ranked Bootcamp. We're talking 20 seconds left on the clock, you got the diffuser in hand, what do? Play the way that you're comfortable with, because you have confidence when you're in this position, that is when you're gonna be at your very best. Good luck.
Welcome back, friends. MNM Gaming carry through the torch and the flame and move it forward into our playoffs. Bracket number 1 confirmed in their group, and the Soniqs confirmed second in the same group. 2-0 victory with all 4 points. The Molotovs and Marshmallows. If you would have told me about this 6 months ago, I'd tell you to get off whatever you're having because it is not good for you. Hello, welcome back. I'm Milosh. With me are Anne and Fresh, resident EUL experts, and you were right. Who said Soniqs? You did, but when Fresh says, I'm voting for the non-MNM, non-EU team, it means he actually is voting for the MNM or the EU team because you don't want to jinx them.
I simply won whichever way that went, Milosh, to be fair.
Yeah.
I was either right or I was wrong, but MNM won.
So you were right.
I was right.
There you go. Anne, you feeling good after this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. We talked about how important the defenses were going to be, right? We'll get into that later on when we get to the third map, but it did turn out that the defenses for MNM were really important in them winning out this best of 3. All
right, how about we go through our maps one by one to talk about them in depth, in detail. Exactly what you're looking for. Clubhouse was a tight game. It almost went the way of the Soniqs there, but the last round proved deadly. For them, MNM Gaming take it 8-7, and action description. What happened on Clubhouse?
A lot happened on Clubhouse. Yeah, that's a very short summary. We'll get into a little bit more of the
to the point these days.
Yeah, but honestly, it didn't start out that bad for Soniqs. Despite the map score, you'd say it was quite close as well. They were opportunistic. There was good shot calling coming out, though MNM did have a kind of good start, you could say, splitting out that first half 4-2 on defense. And we talked about how important that was going to be. Later on, it got a little bit sloppy from Soniqs here and there. I count a double team kill with a grenade.
Yeah.
I count someone jumping in and then Citizen shooting Geo in the back, getting him to be injured. Then I count some sloppy rounds from MNM where they got the kitchen hatch EMP'd, but then didn't breach it. Still won the round. Then got no gym breach, walked the main stairs, and also still won the round. Some very confusing.
Yeah, I think it was kind of weird that this whole fixture of the Clubhouse, the first half was really high quality from both teams, and the second half kind of just descended into the better team will just find a way to win the round. And that was what was happening round after round after round. And like you say, you know, Rexa gets that 4.5v1 because there was one of the MNM players that was already injured. And then, yeah, MNM, like you say, they scuff up a couple of the attacks, but come good just in the end just to get over the line there. Really high quality game from both teams. You know, we were sat listening. We took a position watching the game on a small TV between both teams, listening to communications, and both teams seriously clean. You knew exactly what they were trying to do, what the win condition was. They was pulling each other. Every player on each team was pulling other players to help them to create these team fights. It was, especially the first half of Clubhouse, it was some of the purest siege I've seen in a long time.
Unless you mean the one moment where, can you nade over that wall?
Oh.
Oh, it's good to know.
Paul Grixer is just like, guys, can you actually nade over that wall? And they'll go, no.
It happens.
Oh, that was good to know then.
Yeah, but we talked about these, like, you know, having the opportunity to listen into comms so often. Like, this obviously helped for us as well, right? We listened to Citizen, and we talked to each other like, oh, right, well, Citizen knows these players very well, right? There were rounds where MNM were setting up for an execute, and Citizen went to his team and said, like, they'll C4 the bar hatch. Be careful for it. Like, he knows what they're going to be doing, and that helps a lot. You don't want to overthink that in certain situations, but it does help a lot in expecting what might come from your enemies.
And map 1 could have gone either way. Yeah. It was so back and forth, but we got a great map out of it. As we all say, the viewers are always the winners at the end of it, no matter who takes it. But if we were to move to map number 2, in the series, 7-5. Again, a close one on Skyscraper, but I'm loving seeing more and more Skyscraper, Jack. It's like teams are really starting to explore the depth that this map can offer.
Yeah, and that's what best of threes will give you, is that teams are going to go to these maps that are their favorites. And I think the way that Skyscraper played out, Soniqs went 4-0 up, and I turn around to Anne and I go, if MNM can get 2 rounds here, they will win this fixture. Because they are so good once the roles are reversed. Once it gets onto defense for MNM, they are so good on that defense. And that's exactly what we saw. They managed to pretty much, especially one of those rounds, they managed to cheese one of those attacks to just get them on the board. As soon as they were on defense, they were looking comfortable. And, you know, I am going to go back to this Milosh, and I'm not going to say it was wrong to ban the Solace, but MNM's used the Azami on Clubhouse so well, and we saw them do it time and time again. It was 100% pick rate, and obviously they won 5 out of their 6 defenses.
Yeah, and MNM took a timeout after the third round, which was kind of needed. Their attacks were very slow to start out with, even in the second round. The first entry kill actually came with 22 seconds left on the clock. That is throwback all the way to the 20-second meta that
Skyscraper.
I really like to leave behind me, or behind us. Round 4 saw a much better pace from MNM, and round 5 specifically, I really liked how they used the Monty, had that zone control really forcing off the players to stand back. We saw good backstep potentials coming out from Soniqs on their attack in half as well. They had constant yellow pings. You could hear the comms as well. They had that information. But during those later few rounds from Soniqs specifically, the calls sounded way more panicky. Players felt or sounded way more defeated when they got killed, and it just sounded like a constant stream of comms and not always working out well.
It got very stressful for Soniqs. You know, we praised both teams' communication in the Clubhouse on map 1 and for most of map 2, again, both teams. But then last few rounds for Soniqs, they were shouting over the top of each other. There was no plans being made, no teamwork, and it just fell apart in that last few rounds.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go through our group here to see how it went. I mentioned it at the beginning that these teams are confirmed the top 2 in their own space. That is incredible from MNM Gaming at 16 points. The only team so far undefeated here, especially having played almost all the games, but we'll see. 16 points, 8 for the Soniqs, 4 for Liquid, 4 for Wolves, and none for Dire Wolves, sitting at 5th. At the end, Dire Wolves will have a shot tomorrow that we're playing. We'll have to see how that turns out, but things are looking quite dire. MNM Gaming at the top. That's what we care about. That's what we're here for. It was a classic EUNA, a close EUNA game that honestly could have easily gone to a map 3 and could have been a Soniqs win.
Yeah, the first map could have gone Soniqs' way.
Get out of here, man.
Soniqs' way. It literally was that close. Yeah, it was a really good game of Siege. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that for sure.
And obviously this confirms MNM is our #1 seed.
Oh yeah.
From the Group B as well.
Day off.
Yeah, day off. They will finish. They've got a day off tomorrow. They've got the first day of playoffs. They've got a nice big break now of MNM Gaming. Soniqs obviously will be in the 2nd seed, allowing to choose their opponent once we get through to the playoffs. And then, yeah, the rest of the group is shaping up for a shootout for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, that finals bracket, and we're going to talk about it at the end of this entire stage on Saturday. And then on Monday, of course, will be the beginning of the playoffs, or the first stage of our playoffs. Jack, Anne, thank you very much. We will take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be ready to set things up for our 2nd set of games on both the A and B streams. See you in a moment.